Or you could say Rosenstein. Rod. It's Rod.
Shalom, MC.
Shalom.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Redeye stream number 172. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Cicada 3301. But before that, it was just brought to my attention because, I slept half my day away, that there was some treason going on, right? We're getting our ropes ready, MC? Go ahead.
Okay. You may or may not have heard about the initial story from the New York Times where Rod Rosenstein was outed by McCabe as being in a meeting where he volunteered to wear a wire. Well, there was a report this morning that came out that he was meeting with Trump, and that as he was going to meet with Trump, he offered his resignation. All right, and then he got fired by Trump, and then he hasn't been fired yet, and then, well, he's going to have another. He isn't going to be fired, but he's going to have a meeting with Trump on Thursday. Okay, so a lot of this has all happened, and it comes on the heels of something that Memes hasn't mentioned yet, which is if you go back and dial the Wayback Machine just a little bit, you come up with the name Lisa Page. Now, of course, Lisa Page was the lover of Peter Stork. And Sprock, whatever.
Potato.
And she said Rod Rosenstein, when he made that statement, wasn't joking.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Wasn't she under investigation by the FBI?
She is under investigation. She is cooperating, unlike the rest of them.
Wait, hold on. So what you're saying is folks are actually, some may say, either flipping or just telling the truth?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, it sounds like the system working.
Oh, you sound so giddy.
Well, because it was hilarious when I first saw the news. All right, I immediately said, "This is going to be fun," because whether he resigns, whether he gets fired, no matter what he does, Rosenstein is done. All right, he has to. He actually on Thursday he can't not resign with everything that's swirling around him now.
Well, yeah, you don't just wear or send some.
Well, the fact that
the United States.
It goes back to, okay, who else was? It's obvious Paige was there. All right, it's obvious she was a witness to this, which means she knows all the people that were at that meeting.
Oh, so MD, just to catch you up on the current timeline, 12:57 p.m. The Washington Post. Rod J. Rosenstein to stay in job will meet with Trump on Thursday, White House says. 1:14 p.m. CNN. Trump to meet Thursday with Deputy Attorney Rod Rosenstein. Hold on, my phone just freaking. There we go. Technology is great when it works. Meet with Rod Rosenstein, who oversees the Russia probe after reports of a possible exit. 1:18 p.m. The New York Times. Rod Rosenstein, who is considering quitting, will meet with President Trump on Thursday to discuss his future at the Justice Department. Yeah, things. I don't know. You're hearing different things.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that's interesting about this, and it's one of the things I broached that I think is hilarious, is because of how the reports are coming out, the scattered nature of them, yet at the same time, they are being repeated by every single news organization. There is not one. CNN was recording it, ABC, CBS, NBC, BuzzFeed, Vox, all of them were doing stories on this when this was coming out. Okay? I'm beginning to think, and this is one of the things I postulate, and I'm beginning to believe it now, right, that this was a story that was intentionally leaked by the Trump administration to out who it is, to out the moles that are in his administration, to find out who's talking to the press.
Wait a second, MC. So what you're saying is the President of the United States was trolling people in order to hunt out a mole?
Yep.
Oh. Is that 5D
Yes,
chess?
I am. I'm saying that he let this out to the press, and I think that Rod Rosenstein knew nothing about this, all right, and that all of this, as this started coming out and he started getting questions, Because I think it's very possible that the person who wrote the op-ed in the New York Times talking about how they are the high up in the administration and one of the resistors, I think it's very possible that that person is none other than Rod Rosenstein himself.
But you at that point, if you're just going to be that blatant and just be that high up and writing directly to the New York Times and stuff, like, isn't that kind of arrogant?
You've seen this guy testify? Does he strike you as someone who's a wallflower?
I prefer not to watch a lot of his testimony. It just goes on. Is this treason?
If he was colluding with people in the Justice Department to try and wear a wire to entrap a sitting president of the United States, yes, it's treason.
And that's the only thing in the Constitution that it says you can actually kill somebody over. And I'm opposed to the death penalty, but I believe if you stab your own country in the back like that, then yeah, grab the ropes, boys.
Yeah, this is and so the chaos this morning and the chaos that it created took out the Kavanaugh story more than. This is the other reason why I think it's a Trump thing. Everybody knew that there was going to be another person trying to come out, all right, saying that Kavanaugh, he is dirty and that he's got this, harassment of women thing. This took that all off the front page probably for the rest of the day, if not for the rest of the week. Oh, it'll still be there, but now there's no way you're going to sit up there and be able to use the oxygen to just bash Kavanaugh and scare the Republicans enough and not having to vote this week.
Oh, you know what? Something just clicked in my head. Kavanaugh came out swinging today. I did see news on that when I was looking up news stories. I just figured we talked about Kavanaugh fucking enough. I didn't want to deal with it. But he came out swinging and said, those allegations are completely untrue. I was never even at that fucking party. And you can go fuck yourself, pretty much.
Didn't he busted out his old calendar or something, I heard.
Well, that's on the first accuser. The next accuser? Did you hear did you read the story from the New Yorker?
No, I was trolling Fox News and then BBC News. So
if you read the story from the New Yorker,
hold on. Wait, MC, is this the one where basically he was exposing his junk to some gal while she was drunk at a party?
Not drunk at a party.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Hi, lady and gentlemen. I have a question.
Yes, SM.
Is it illegal to jack off in front of a woman?
You're gonna have to ask to our friend comedian who just made his return. What the heck was his name?
Oh, that's right. He got away with it. So I
not
guess,
Billy Crystal.
Not Billy Crystal.
I'm sorry, my mind is blank. I'm relying on the folks here. All right, somebody rely on Google.
You're thinking, God damn it, memes! You fucked me up too.
You're welcome.
Louis C.K. Louis.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Louis C.K. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Louis C.K. Apparently, I guess either nobody ever said no, and he always kind of asked for consent, and I guess they awkwardly said yes, and I guess he defamated a lot of plants. So, I mean, maybe people for the ethical treatment of plants would be against that or something. I don't know.
Oh my God, plant lives matter. Anyway.
Gives you a new understanding of Cornholio now, doesn't it?
What?
Anyway.
I am Cornholio.
Yeah, did MC just make a Beavis and Butthead reference?
Yes, he did. Oh my God, this is the end of the fucking world.
Oh
anyway.
God. Yeah,
the boomer jokes are flowing.
MC. Go ahead and continue. I'm shocked.
This woman, the New Yorker, right? And this is in the New Yorker story itself, right?
There, that's one.
She says that she was drinking so much she passed out. and then was laying on the floor, and then kind of wake up, and then remembers seeing this penis after she had been handed dildos and things earlier on in the party that she remembers. All right, that Kavanaugh had pulled out his penis, and that she clearly remembers distinctly people yelling down the hallway of the dorm that Brett Kavanaugh stood up there and pulled out his penis in front of Debbie's face.
Will eat your face.
Okay, no, you're wasted. You're passed out. I'm going to mute you. I'm sure already. Never mind. Okay. We can hear your kids, and you guys are having a conversation. So mute yourself. I don't want to mute you and be rude. But no, you're drunk. You're already playing with sex toys, and some college kid whipped out his dick. Isn't this just a Friday night at the U of O campus? I mean, what the fuck is going on here?
Now, was it in the bathroom?
They were sitting around in a circle, so if it was in a bathroom, I would like to know what they were doing in the bathroom.
Okay, so it's not like the no. The only reason I say this is not that it's right, because you really probably shouldn't do it with a lady in the restroom. But if folks pass out in the bathroom, at least for dudes and stuff, I know that your dude's passed out. Sometimes, hey, I fell over in a cat litter box taking a leak once. That was one of the very few times that I had an experience. But it's like, hey, sometimes you gotta pee, and somebody happens to wake up. You're peeing.
Well, the problem that this lady is having, of course, is that they couldn't corroborate the story at all.
Well, if she was blackout drunk at a party, it's hard to remember.
Okay,
I'm not saying it didn't happen,
memes.
But I'm like, well,
memes. I saw you yesterday, fucking flashing, fucking in the park, dude. I saw you running around with a trench coat, flashing people in the park.
I haven't been to the park in like 2 years.
See, but who's gonna prove who wrong here?
This is, and here's the thing. Nothing to take away from the lady, but it's just, if you're gonna make something like this, it could have absolutely happened. But it's just like this one. It's like you start pushing it, and even a lot of reports are like, "All right, you're this at a party. You're this. Somebody said this or that." It's just
it gets better. It gets better because this morning, on one of the morning shows, I think it was the NBC morning show this morning, they were interviewing the reporter, the one who outed this story, and they admitted to it. They said, "Where'd you get the story?" Well, the Democrats were trolling us. We're looking around and investigating to try and get anything on this, and they're the ones that gave us the name. So they put us on to her.
Well, they may have had information. It could be like House of Cards, where they just have all the dirt on everybody, like Frank Underwood has on his folder. Dude, at this point, even Kevin Spacey, before he kind of, bad news. But no, he even said
didn't go well.
No, he was on Colbert. He's on Colbert there, and he's like, how does it make you feel about Washington? He's like, sometimes I think we're pushing the envelope, and he's like, and then I turn on the news, and he's like, we're nailing this shit head on.
Well, no, and that's the thing. Okay, so everybody's gonna come out of the goddamn woodwork here to fucking say, hashtag me too. And Joy fucking whatever her last name is, a dumb bitch from The View, said,
Joy Behar.
Yeah. No, she's not a very intelligent woman.
No, she really is. It means
no. She's like, okay, if Kavanaugh is confirmed, which he probably will be, he'll be the first Supreme Court justice impeached. Bitch, good luck. Good luck. It's not going to work. You guys are fucking barking up the wrong tree. That dog don't hunt. Just let it go.
Oh, no. Believe it or not, he could very well get impeached. All right? He won't be kicked out, but he will be impeached.
Well, Bill Clinton got impeached.
Yes, Bill Clinton did get impeached. However, they did not remove him from office. The only one that was removed from office that I can think of, memes, is Nixon.
Nixon resigned before they got that far, yeah.
Yeah, he resigned after he was impeached.
No, he wasn't. He was never impeached.
He wasn't?
Nope.
Okay, you probably know more than me about that memes. MC.
There's only two presidents that have been impeached. Bill Clinton's one of them. The other one's Andrew Johnson.
Okay.
Oh yeah, when he killed the bank, yeah. But no,
not Andrew Jackson. Andrew Johnson.
Oh. Okay, sorry. I misheard you.
You're going for a history degree?
Oh, fuck you. I misheard you.
No, he heard President J, so he's like, Jackson.
I like Jackson. Sorry, my mind went right to the best possible place. Memes. Come on now. I'm looking at the chat here. Mad Dog, the story. This is Carl. This is Tema's old man. He says the story I read is this happened in the common area of the dorm. More importantly, what college student partying with friends calls them by their first and last name? Yeah, my friends never even called me by my first name. It was always just Dodger or whatever. That was my nickname since high school.
To be fair, MD, maybe Brett Kavanaugh from the tender young age of 17 always knew he was going to become a Supreme Court justice. So he always went introducing himself as Brett Kavanaugh because he was obviously like Judge John Roberts. He was absolutely a perfect life up until he had to swear in the President of the United States.
I'm going to make another comment here, all right? Because if this supposedly was, because I don't remember reading that part of it, but if this was supposedly in the common area of the dorm, right, I'm going to call BS on this. And the reason for it is this. In the common areas of dorms, you do not allow underage people to drink. And you have what they call dorm monitors that make sure, that come up to make sure that kind of partying doesn't go down inside of the common areas. It can go on in people's rooms. But in a common area where you have underage people drinking, and I believe Yale's in Connecticut, right? In the 1980s, where the drinking age has already been past 20 or has already been up to 20 or 19, they would not have allowed that. I guarantee you they wouldn't have allowed it.
Well, MD, it's not like any dorm monitor has ever partaken with said partiers before. I'm
not saying that they don't, but you would not allow that because of the while you were on duty. If that came out where the police had been called for, even the campus police, everyone there could have gotten busted.
Actually, if this was the 1980s at Yale, would they have cameras?
I doubt they would have cameras.
Yale was
in the dorms. There's no way.
All right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that there wouldn't be cameras in the dorms.
Earlier, like I said in your chat, it doesn't seem like there is any evidence whatsoever of said allegation.
Right.
It doesn't fucking make sense. Continue, my friend.
No, it doesn't make sense. So this is obviously a lie. But the one thing that this did do with Rosenstein now is everyone's talking about Rosenstein. Is he going to be fired or isn't he going to be fired? That is going to be the talk on the talk show.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the thing, dude. If you're looking to unseat a president of the United States, literally, unless the president is going against the Constitution of the United States, as far as I know, if you're in a federal agency like that, you swear an oath to uphold the Constitution from all threats, foreign and domestic. Unless he had like an extreme reason to believe the president is subverting the United States Constitution, it's like, that's why I asked them earlier, like, is this treasonous or looking to unseat a elected president of the United States via our system?
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't say treasonous. I would say shady.
No, this is treasonous. You have a duly elected president of the United States that you have no evidence on, and you start an intel gathering operation from within the freaking government to unseat him. That's treasonous.
That is a fine point, sir.
No, well, I think of this ability. Basically, if you're going to play it all the way out, you technically could try to charge for treason if you're going to bring someone to this. But at this point, it's like, if you could actually hopefully work this out. I mean, if you were to go, like you said, depending on the extenuating circumstances and everything, it's like often they plead down to different things. But at this point, it's like he's meeting with Trump on Thursday. Now, at this point, it's, dude, he's playing it like The Apprentice. Stay tuned till next week's episode or this midweek's episode on Thursday, right before the weekend, to find out what will happen to Rod Rosenstein. It's like, and Donald Trump, as he played into this, just how long was The Apprentice on? For like 15 years. He had 15 years where folks were just watching him on a #1 rated cable, #1 normal show, just freaking as the decider.
It gets better. Think about how this is going to play out. You have the Kavanaugh hearing that's going to have to be done by Thursday. There's no way. I've said this and I stand by it. I still don't think
on the same day.
That the original accuser is going to testify. I've said this many times. I don't think she's going to go up. She's going to testify. All right, they're going to find some excuse for her not to testify. At which point, the Republicans are going to demand a vote. They're going to get a vote, and Trump's going to be seen as winning this, and then he's going to be firing firing Rosenstein on the same day, and it's going to be the great day for frickin' Trump. That's what's going to get printed.
You know what I want is a better day. I want Jeff Sessions fired. He's inept. He's not even doing his damn job. And even if you do think that the war on marijuana should continue, which I know you don't think it should, you think they should fix it through the Congress and the House of Representatives. I get that. Not arguing it. I'm just saying Jeff Sessions is fucking inept and needs to be replaced. I say he fires both of them.
Retire with dignity.
I'm telling you now that he's not going to fire Jeff Sessions. That's been and has been for a long time kabuki theater. It has got people that they keep looking to see if he's going to fire Sessions while they ignore what Sessions is doing in the background.
I want him gone. I want the Keebler elf to go back to his fucking treehouse.
You can want him gone, and everything else is back to wishing one hand and shit in the other. Bad Dodge.
That's it. I'm running for fucking president, so I could fire this prick. Like somebody needs to fire him.
MD, you have not made an easy task.
Well, he's the attorney general.
Sargon's having enough issues running for his local district in Swindon, man. Come on. It's not the easiest thing in the world.
Well, come on. Soygon can go fuck himself.
I'm sorry. That was fucking funny.
I don't think that the things are the same, because I don't think you would ever have put Jeff Sessions as your attorney general to begin with.
Dude, he was the only sitting senator that came straight out from the beginning. It's like, I'm with Donald Trump. That's the thing, dude. Sessions has been loyal, and that's the one thing. It's like, he can disagree. And even President Trump even said when these folks were getting sworn in, he's like, you can disagree with me. It's fine. Be yourselves. The one thing that he really just wants, he wants you to do your job and basically not betray him. Unfortunately for Mr. Rosenstein, it appears that he may not have done both jobs as well as he should have.
No, Rosenstein is guilty as charged.
Rosenstein tried to do what Nixon fucking did, right? He tried to wiretap and shit. Like, what the fuck are you even thinking? Didn't you see the fucking Nixon presidency? Don't you see what fucking happens?
Actually, wait a second. Doesn't President Trump have a letter from Dick Nixon in the Oval Office?
Not sure.
What?
No, because Dick Nixon wrote him a letter back in like the 80s or something saying, hey, Donald, at some point you should be president or go for it or something. I guess they had a very friendly relationship at one point. No, the reason why I say this is, here's the thing. If you are going to be an actual like business dude, if you're going to try to run the government as some form of a business, hopefully with very high morals, but if you could do that, what would you do? You'd learn from the tales of the past. Well, the tales of the past. Here's the thing. If he's meeting with Rosenstein, what was her name? Miss Page or something like that? That seems to be cooperating. What happens if all of a sudden you have a big fish here? Some may consider Rod Rosenstein as being, is he in the FBI? Is he an attorney for the FBI? He's in the Justice Department?
He's the deputy attorney general.
Oh, well, to be fair, if he was involved, wouldn't he know other folks involved if there was like a conspiracy or something, quote unquote?
And he's the deputy attorney general, you said. So he's right behind Jeff Sessions. Why exactly does Jeff Sessions not know what is going on here? Why exactly does
makes you think that he hasn't been? See, this is the thing is you
he
don't
needs
know.
to go.
Why?
Because he let it happen.
No, he's reporting all of this to Trump. This is what you guys don't understand. I'm telling you, this is kabuki theater. He's been out there doing all this stuff in the background, all right, without people realizing, okay, he's the one who's basically finding out all the information, and he's giving it to Trump and telling him what to do.
So he's basically just having Jeff Sessions do his thing, and then because I always ask this, I'm like, when President Trump seems to do something absolutely ridiculous, or when he actually is throwing them under the bus constantly on Twitter, but he's not actually taking any managerial duty, he's just throwing the stuff. Oh, he's attacking Jeff Sessions, poor Jeff Sessions, and then Donald Trump will seemingly say something completely out of left field as well again, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm always like, what is he doing? So that's very interesting.
He's providing cover for his mole in the Justice Department. They're telling freaking Sessions everything. That's what Rod Rosenstein was supposedly even talking. Says I can convince Jeff Sessions to sit up there and do the 25th Amendment. They all think that Jeff Sessions was on their side, or is amenable to being on their side. I'm telling you, this has been a sting operation for a long time, and it doesn't take 5D chess or 3D chess, right? It just takes a look at saying, okay, all I have to do is sit up there and just put the bait on the hook, right? And I don't even have to get it in the water before they're already snapping to bite it.
And to be fair, is it just possible, like a lot of times, a lot of folks have been around Washington so long that they just get tempted by many things, so it's almost like everyone has something on everyone else, so folks just kind of quote unquote stay in line. And then you have Donald Trump, and if he didn't actually do anything that was treasonous or against the Constitution or anything, it's like my dad always said, he's like the best defense is the truth. So if you just kind of were acting like Donald Trump, I don't think that's against the Constitution per se.
Well, of course, memes. I mean, people, they throw giant fits. Donald Trump could literally cure AIDS, and they would call him an ableist.
Well, he'd be putting some doctors out of business, apparently.
Well, no, it's the exact opposite of the Obama presidency, where Obama just went, yeah, go ahead with SEAL Team 6, and he gets the credit for killing Osama bin Laden. He didn't hold the goddamn gun. Matter of fact, I still have yet to see a picture of a dead Osama. Have you? I would like to see a picture, some proof.
I voted for that piece of shit the first time. Fuck Obama. He lied about everything.
Oh. This is a bitch slap. This is a bitch slap through the internet. Bam! Just fucking act right, motherfucker. What the fuck?
Agreed.
He was a very smart dude. He had a bunch of wisdom. He didn't always have the best management style.
What do you mean he's a smart
dude?
But what gives you
have...
that? What has convinced you that he's an intelligent individual?
He's a smart dude. I mean, he went to Harvard and everything. He was a smart guy.
He could read. He could read a teleprompter.
He could have a hell of a speech, man. He was a great orator.
Did you see the clip?
But that doesn't have anything to do with whether or not you're smart. Give me a policy or any kind of thing that demonstrates his intelligence.
And if you
brother's
say
keeper seemed like a well-meaning program.
If you say the Affordable Health Care Act, I'm gonna fucking kill you, memes. I am on the next flight to Boston.
Its basis, it was a pretty good idea. I mean, like single payer. I mean, it has some benefits if it was implemented well.
No, it doesn't have any benefits.
Take away 30% of a cost from a company to a lot of its employees, dude. That's a boon.
How is that a boon when the cost to the employees were ratcheted up to such a degree they couldn't even afford what their previous?
Well, I mean, it was a back-ended bill. There were benefits up front, and the tail-end costs kicked in right around when folks were saying.
It wasn't. That's a lie.
Oh no, it hiked up rates for a lot of other folks. That is true.
It hiked up rates on anybody that was getting their health care through their company. It jacked them up by over 100%.
Well, if you work for a large company, it was maybe only 30 or, it did go up.
When you were 18 years old, did you really need health care? No, you opted out so you could save more of your paycheck. You didn't fucking really need it. How about when you were 21? Still don't really fucking need it. What about 25? No. Or
at least catastrophic costs.
It is a personal choice. It is not the government's right to tell me that I had to have it when I was 18.
A lot of folks in the UK like the NHS.
And a lot of folks in the UK fucking hate knives and they're idiots.
Well, hey, you need to peel your potatoes somehow.
You know what? Okay, MC, I'm sure you have some frequent flyer mileage, man. You travel for business. Hook me up, bro. I need to go to Boston tomorrow. I'm fucking beating the shit out of memes. And then we'll have a beer, buddy, because I do like it.
No. We can have a hangout in Manch Vegas. We'll invite Sticks.
God damn it, dude. I've never wanted to fly somewhere to beat somebody up so bad than right now. Like
you're defending the Affordable Universal Healthcare can't work.
Well, it was a first step. It was not the greatest bill. I don't think anybody actually read it.
To hurt Americans.
Well, it would poke folks in the butt to go towards single payer. I don't think it was necessarily designed that way, but after everybody had their say for their different interests and everything.
You cannot look at this and say, well, this is a first step. That means he wasn't trying to solve the problem. So his first step was to sit up there and make it palatable for the government to take it over. If you've got a government program that's working, all right, if that government program was intended to work, then why would they people wanted to take it all over? They wouldn't. So it was designed to fail and designed to hurt Americans so they could push their own view of a political agenda, memes, and you can't sit up there and deny that.
So how many folks in the House of Representatives read the bill before they voted on it?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. They all need to read the goddamn bill because it's their motherfucking job, and not a single one of them other than Rand motherfucking Paul fucking read the goddamn motherfucker. It is bullshit.
Okay, well, see, I thought at the time of voting, like, nobody actually read it, at least according to John Boehner, at least at one point.
Rand Paul read it. That's why he fucking railed against it in the Senate.
Oh, I thought he didn't have time because I thought they put up.
The House
okay,
was
never
different
mind.
than the Senate. Okay. And Charles Rangel was the one who was laughing about it. So, read the bill, like I got time to read the bill. All right. Nancy Pelosi was the one who flat out said, "Well, you got to sit up there and pass the bill to find out what's in the bill."
Those were not the best words.
Those were her accurate words. What do you mean they weren't the best words?
They were not the best words. Well,
why? Because she was honest for once?
But that just you read the bill to know what's in the bill.
She knew what was in the bill. They had that bill written before Obama was even in office. They've had that bill sitting on that desk waiting for the chief.
Wasn't that a lot of amendments?
Well, wasn't that bill just a modified Hillary care plan from the 90s? Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, they knew what was in there.
It was the same thing that they had tried before, and it was intended intentionally, right, not to work and intentionally to harm people, to make it so bad that people would clamor for the frickin' federal government to take it all over. That's the nature of not just Hillary Clinton, not just Nancy Pelosi. That is also Barack Obama's general attitude toward that. And
you were nice.
And for you to sit up there and say, "Oh no, he was a good man. He was doing it." No, he wasn't. All right, he's a devious individual. When you talk about, if you want to talk about how smart he was, all right, you could look back to this kind of deception that he was perpetrating and say, yeah, that's an intelligent maneuver, right?
Or
but
what he's
really,
doing right now,
cleverness than anything else. All right,
yeah,
you haven't seen anything. This guy was not nearly as intelligent as everybody seems to think that he was.
MD, here's my problem.
Real quick. Okay, maybe he is kind of intelligent because, unlike George W., he didn't go back home to his state. He bought a house in D.C. and he's still there in the swamp, and he's fucking feeding the goddamn crocodiles.
Didn't he? No. I thought he had a wall installed before he.
Yeah, he could build a wall. He could have a damn wall, but nobody else can. All the motherfucker ever did was read off a fucking teleprompter and suck up the DNC's fucking Kool-Aid and fucking spit it out all over. No,
he had a beer summit.
Carl wants to jump in. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind. He's in my Discord. Jump in. You know I don't mind. I don't even know why you're asking.
Here's my thing with President
he
Obama.
asked you, so I figured I would ask you for him.
Okay, and I'll stop with the rant. I'm in a bad mood today. But anyway,
obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, Joshua says, I told him, hey, I like John Stossel. I think he's a pretty good fucking smart guy. I think he's smarter than Obama, which
he taught us how to get a golf cart for free.
He said, same here at Mad Dodge. I became a libertarian because of John Stossel's argument and Lawrence Southern. I became a libertarian because of Ron Paul and his 2012 campaign. That's when I became a libertarian. I just wanted to share that real quick. Now, I'll stop ranting and let MC rant because he's better at it.
Hey,
he's definitely louder than you.
Well, he's quite loud. Go SSM.
I became a filthy centrist a long time ago. I'm not going to fucking change. Tough luck. Good luck.
All right. I feel you, brother. And here's the thing. How does one even define centrist? I believe there's a variety of definitions because not all centrists are the same. Here's the thing.
I swing right. I swing right for sure. I don't swing left. Well, my dick does, but my political leanings.
Oh, it's all right. There's nothing being upright and a little to the left. But here's all I got to say about this thing. As far as President Obama goes, here's the thing. I believe the man believed he was doing the right thing. It's just ended up being very poorly implemented.
Oh, okay. Like, here's my question to you right there. Before you go any further. Why? Why do you believe that?
Because the man's mom died of cancer and shit, and she got kind of railroaded from insurance companies, as far as I understand, and stuff.
Her family
dude, the man had a severe traumatic.
Her family was ultra rich. What do you mean she got railroaded from the insurance company?
I thought she ended up going over the lifetime limit or something. As far as no. Here's the thing. I'm saying this. His mom.
Obama's mother. Obama's mother was freaking rich as hell. His grandmother freaking they owned all sorts of property in Hawaii.
Okay, that doesn't mean you can't still get railroaded by folks and shit like that. Because, like, I believe he wanted to make the system better. Yeah, the dude even said he wanted single payer. And that's why Joe Biden was caught saying, this is a big fucking deal. Yeah, because it was a step towards single payer and stuff. Yeah, there was no public option. Here's the thing. The bill was messy as hell. And for whatever reason, it was No, here's my problem with Obama.
There is a public option. There's a public option in every single state. The poor are covered. It's called the Oregon Health Plan here. I don't know what it's called in California.
It's a spread of Medicare. Well, here's the thing, dude. Here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, we had Romney Care. And here's my problem with President Obama and what he said during one of the debates. He's like, the Affordable Care Act, it's 95% Romney Care. He's like, oh. And here's my problem with that, because when he said that, I'm like, all right, taking Massachusetts and Romney Care, and we did it. We paid for it. Mitt Romney did make cuts. He pissed a lot of folks off, but the man ended up doing what he said. And we did end up netting out $1 billion. We did it designed for Massachusetts. But here's the thing. Massachusetts, it is not Texas. It is not Oregon. It is not New Mexico. It is not Florida. We have a very small land area compared to a lot of states. We have a very high concentration of hospitals, of nursing students, of doctors, as well as universities and stuff like that. It was designed for Massachusetts. To copy and paste Massachusetts for the rest of the country just did not make sense to me. And it's kind of like taking a high school paper on World War II. You can do a bang-up job of a high school paper on a subject of World War II, but to use that for your doctoral thesis, it just seemed lazy. It didn't seem well thought out and stuff. And a lot of it just seemed to come down to politics. Because I remember at one point they were talking about co-ops, talking about different options, and then things just seemed to get rammed through. And I'm just like, it did not seem done as well as I believe it could have been done.
Well, no, and the states should do it individually if they're going to do it at all. They should pay for it themselves, not with federal dollars.
Dude, we have the United States of America. This is the greatest social experiment in the world. It's almost like, oh, hey, maybe we can try to do different things in different states to try to help promote the public good and do it in a way that makes sense. And maybe just not copy and paste for the entire United States and expect it to fit in. It's trying to jam the square into the circle.
It's not just that. You sit up there and just made a couple of freaking ridiculous comments. Public good. Who gets to determine that? What is public good? What's good for the public? All right.
Isn't that up to the government of the United States, as according to the legislature, executive branch, as well as the judiciary? At least that's what I learned in like the second or third grade.
Carl.
Carl.
Welcome, Carl.
The promote the general welfare is not necessarily the public good.
Well, to be fair, the general welfare. I'm actually surprised you brought that up, NC. Thank you for the correction. That would give credence to a lot of other things. I like the public good, but we can go with the general welfare as well.
You're not promoting general welfare.
Personally, I go through Blue Cross, and it is free health care for me, but I am disabled. That's the only reason that they help me at all.
Well, dude, I was on Romney Care for a little bit as well. And like the first time I went to go on, it's like by the time I qualified for it, I think I was actually on private. I was on it maybe for like a month or two. And I did use it later. And it's like, it fucking worked when it was there. It's like you pretty much get like free healthcare or highly discounted healthcare.
Well, the thing was, I applied for it because literally my right, the thing that connects to your nutsack. Yeah, that little tube was the size of a lemon.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah, so
like an congenital hernia.
Yeah, it was terrible, and they fixed that. they fixed that and they did it for free. But I did have to apply for it, and it took quite a while for that to go through.
Dude, I think it was like 42 pages or something, and like you couldn't do it online at the time. You had to print it out and do it by hand, and then dude, it was a pain in the ass.
Well, no, and my problem with Obamacare is simply this: they actually passed it through the Supreme Court because they said it was a tax. The whole goddamn time Obama was arguing it was not a fucking tax. And that's what it was. You're taking an 18-year-old that's probably completely fit, probably fucking perfectly healthy and fine, and then you're charging them over $1,000 to not pay healthcare for healthcare insurance. Or you're going to charge them like $5,000 a year for healthcare insurance.
The problem is they didn't meet the standards required to pass it as a tax. They passed it as a fine, and then they changed it and said it was a tax. And that's complete horseshit.
That was the thing.
True, then they didn't have the votes to pass it as a tax.
It seemed the preponderance of even a lot of the legal minds out there believed it was going to be struck down, and it came down to what was it, Judge John Roberts
Kennedy.
John Roberts. That was a thing. It's like folks tended to think, okay, he was appointed by George W. Bush. You tend to think he's going to be the dude that's going to be a bit more conservative. I tend to think it's like, okay, he leaned that way.
He let it be known with the other conservative justices how he was voting, and then as they were writing the opinions, he changed his mind.
Oh, he changed his mind.
And that makes me wonder what kind of dirt the administration found on him.
Here's the thing. Interesting idea, but didn't Scalia write the opposing argument, the dissenting opinion?
I just have one thing on George Roberts that I really want to get in. Here's why I believe he probably did what he did. A lot of the times, and I was watching a lot of Fox News at the time, and I'll give this straight up. A lot of times they said, all right, you have a lot of benefits. You have, all right, a lot of the pros. It's like, all right, you can't get dropped from your coverage. You're going to eliminate a lifetime limit. You had a lot of the pros, a lot of the benefits for folks in the bill when it was passed. So once it was out there for what, like a year and a half, 2 years or so. It was out there for a while. So a lot of those benefits were already there. And just to take things away, I think he tended to look at just like the general good, or maybe, hey, call it the general welfare of the United States, and be like, there are a lot of folks that would be hurt of this. And even if he tended to believe that way, I don't think he really wanted to add that shock to the system, because I think we're still in a recovery.
About that one way or another. Okay. I think what he did was exactly what other people have said about it, which is he did it because he wanted to put his name, all right, as the new Supreme Court, Supreme Justice, right?
Well, he was as Supreme Court. He replaced William
he was
Rehnquist.
The Chief Justice, though.
Chief Justice, yes. Sorry.
Remember, he's not the Associate Justice. He was the Chief Justice, and he wanted a name for the quote-unquote Robert Court, just like you got the Marshall Court and several of the others. He was just doing it to make a name for himself.
I do remember his name, and to be fair, I always forgot, because it was always the bonus question in my history class with good old Professor Lemire. He was always there. Who was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court? And I would always forget, and it was always William Rehnquist at the time. It drilled into my memory, man. And I do remember Judge Roberts, too. I don't know, man. I don't think he wanted to see a lot of folks get hurt, and I think he was probably on the fence.
That's an excuse. Look how many people were being
harmed. Didn't he write it as a tax? That's how he held it as constitutional.
It's awful funny when you use that term, well, he didn't want people being hurt. But look at all the people that were being harmed because of it to begin with.
We didn't hear all those stories.
Of course. Well, gee, I wonder why. It wouldn't have anything to do with the press not wanting to write those stories, would it?
Wouldn't it just be easier if there was a small thing, like, was it like a FICA tax or something on there, and folks just didn't have to worry about that? And then you could have companies add Cadillac plaids, just to have some basic level of catastrophic coverage, and maybe prescription drug coverage.
Wouldn't it be easy to just give the freaking everybody to have the same thing and just take over all the freaking economy and tell people you've all got coverage and you will all have this job and I will dictate all this to you?
I know. It's a slippery slope, but here's the thing. I'm just saying this as somebody that applied to do those 42 pages. It just would have been pretty easy if all I had to worry about was just getting a decent paying job, trying to do pretty much well for myself, and not have to worry about that. It would be a lot easier rather than have to look at Cobra and all this stuff. Well, the goal is you actually want folks to work and stuff like that, right?
Well, how are you going to have people work? What incentive is there
I
to
look
work?
I look at it as an economic factor.
Work.
If you take away that cost, dude, how much do companies pay on health insurance and seeing all these rising costs? If you took that out of the equation, I think you'd be able to pay folks a little bit more money and stuff like that. I'm looking at it from an economic aspect. Dude, even President Trump, he's like, I admire the healthcare systems in Norway. He comes into office, it's like, all right, healthcare. Can't we just give everyone folks better? It's like, Mr. President, you ran as a Republican. It's like,
that's not what happened, memes. What he did is he said, here are the economics of that. That's what
give
ended.
karate a chance.
No, I was just telling them to shut up because it looked like other people wanted to talk.
Well, no, I do want to talk here a little bit because once again, and I'll bring it up for the millionth goddamn motherfucking time. Look at the VA system and how long a veteran of the United States who fucking got his arm blown off fighting for his goddamn country has to wait to see a fucking doctor. Do you want that for the entire country? That's what you get when you socialize healthcare.
Oh, I agree with you, Dodge.
Well, but again, this comes back to if you go back and this was the one I had the experience of speaking with a surgeon. And you realize that surgeons haven't made a damn dime. You know, they haven't gotten a pay increase since 1992. The only people that see pay increases are your nursing staff has seen an increase, but your hospital administrators have seen astronomical pay raises. And your hospital administrators, so you have to remember, so let's say like where I was in College Station, Texas. So you have your primary care provider there, your primary hospital is going to be the St. Joseph's. Okay, St. Joseph's is not just St. Joseph's in College Station, it's St. Joseph's all over the country. So if you want to provide insurance that works at St. Joseph's Hospital, you have to come to the table and talk to their administrators. And you're going to pay what their administrators tell you to pay. It's not the other way around. The insurance companies don't say, oh, we're not going to pay for this and we're not going to pay for that. The administrators tell the insurance companies what they will and will not cover and how much they will pay. And that is 90% of your increase in healthcare costs.
Because of top level, like executive management stuff, or
because
it's the hospital administrators on the hospital side. Their doctors aren't seeing pay increases. Nobody's seeing pay increases. The insurance companies are losing money, but in order to provide, in order to provide insurance that an employer wants to purchase, they have to deal with these different hospitals. Up in Oregon, you're going to have Kaiser Permanente. In California, it'll be Kaiser Permanente. So you're going to have to make a deal with their administrators. And Kaiser Permanente knows that you have to provide service at their hospitals if you want an employer in Oregon or California to purchase your insurance. So you're going to pay whatever they tell you to pay.
That's fucked up.
So yeah, and that's, if you look it up, the book is called America's Jagged Pill, and there's a New York Times editorial on it. You can search for New York Times editorial, America's Jagged Pill, and you can read that editorial from the New York Times right there in the middle of it. They admit, the architects of Obamacare admit that they know the primary driver of the cost in healthcare is the administrators, and the one thing that they never addressed anywhere at any time were administrators.
Right, because they were increasing the administrative burden upon all the hospitals, which would necessarily create, more would necessarily create, first of all, consolidation, and greatly increase the power for the administrators.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, so they knew going in. I mean, everybody knew that it not only was it not going to reduce costs, it was going to drive costs through the roof, ridiculously through the roof. And they knew that if you don't address the primary driver of your cost, you're never going to lower it.
Well, yeah, no, and to pivot a little bit, if you look at the college system, look at how when they instituted financial aid and all these other benefits and grants and all this, tuition went through the roof.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, when I started, so I went to Santa Barbara City College, and I believe it was $5 a unit, and your average book was about $60. And that was, it's 1990. And, by 1993, now it was $20 a unit in state cost.
Ooh.
You know, it's just a few short years later. I mean, it quadrupled in cost, and you know, books were pushing $120.
I remember going to state school and seeing tuition go up from fucking like 10 grand a semester to like, I don't know, like 20 to like 12, 14,000, like 20 to 40% increase, like semester over semester.
No, I mean, it was like $12,000 a semester at UCSB, and I think what was it? It was like Yale was like 35, and then by 2 years later it was 35 a semester at UCSB, and everybody's like, holy crap, you're paying for premium for
is some of that regulations or
no, what it was they said they made money readily available to college students, and the schools were looking at, these college students have X amount of dollars that are sitting around in their pockets. Let's relieve them of that.
But well, to be fair, like I remember when like my buddy's older brother, who was several years ahead of us, dude, when he was going to like the same state school, like he applied for all these grants and financial aid, dude, he was getting paid to go to school, and he had like a bunch of extra money, I think, a month,
right?
And then he ended up becoming a firefighter.
Mm-hmm. And look at the students who get those same grants and everything now. All of that's going to go into tuition.
Well, I can tell you right now, what I'm freaking paying. I'm paying for between $18,000 to $20,000 a year. And that's over a 4-year period because I'm going for my bachelor's in history. Yeah, I'm going to be neck deep in fucking debt. So, I mean, this shit's ridiculous. And that's for an online school. Like, I mean, try the U of O. Try going for your graduates at the University of Oregon. I dare you. You're going to pay $45,000 a year probably. It's ridiculous.
But even worse than that, we've created a society where everybody believes you need a degree. When I was like 15, 16 years old getting into the workforce, I mean, people worked as apprentice. You wanted to get a job in a machine shop, you got a job sweeping floors in a machine shop. And if they had the time, they showed you how to use the equipment. Now, if you want to get a job in a machine shop, they want you to have an engineering degree. So they want you to be saddled with, $80,000 worth of debt before you even walk in the door.
Yeah, no, and why I pivoted to the college is because you can see exactly what government intervention does if you look at the college system.
I never went to college. I got my fucking GED at fucking 17 years old. I started working my ass off because my parents were losing the land that I grew up on.
So here's the thing. Based on what Carl was saying, so Carl, what you're saying is we need public education, public higher education.
You're going to get hurt.
No, okay. Here's a classic example. So, the dean of students at the college I went to, and I'm not going to name her name. There were a lot of people that thought she should spend a lifetime in prison. As an example, she had 12 secretaries working under her, I believe, at the time. Her office had mahogany furniture, antiques. I mean, very valuable pieces of furniture. This is a state school. Now, by contrast, that was a state school. By contrast, the dean of students at Stanford at the time, his office, he had one secretary. His office was decorated in 1950s green metal. The typical, what you would see at, a military base or something like that. And that's the difference between a public and a private school.
Oh,
the last thing we need are more public universities.
Dude, I went to my dad's, I think it was like the 40th, like Harvard University graduation. We stayed in the quote unquote animal house of Harvard and freaking we're there, dude, it was pretty crappy dorms. I mean, they weren't the worst dorms, but like, I don't know, like my mom complained and then we got put on like nicer dorms.
Memes, I swear you should name every video you do from now on. Here's the thing.
Boy, I do say that a lot. It's my filler statement.
But I mean, that's the difference between a private and a public university. A private university, they actually have to work on their budget, whereas a public university, I mean, the whole problem with public education is spend it or lose it.
Well, to be fair, like the UMass system it's pretty solid.
Okay, well, I'll tell you right now that I really think that and I told the teacher to her face. In the fourth grade, I got called in because my son had said something that was a little dark humor, and they were concerned, and I had to explain to him that they were just glorified, overpaid babysitters, and that his real education happened at home. And they didn't particularly appreciate that, but it was a true statement.
Well, hey, I mean, as long as you have certain facts, I mean, based upon like what you told me, if they got mahogany furniture and stuff like that, and all those secretaries, to be fair, like even at U Lowell, man,
Okay.
like I had a teacher, was cost management systems or something. He taught over at Harvard too and stuff. He's like, you want to know the difference between like your class projects and like our class projects? He's like, the difference is like he's like, the ones at Harvard, they come in like fancy fluting binders and stuff. He's like, I'm using the exact same case studies. He's just like, I just do in the crappy copy room down the hall.
Yeah.
And I use a stapler.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, and I'm looking at the chat here. Joshua said Obamacare was a payoff to the insurance companies. That's the major flaw because besides the tax. And it was a payoff to the insurance companies. They're the winners out of Obamacare.
How were they winners when they started losing money almost immediately?
Yeah, they're having to leave areas because of their force.
How are they losing money? But I thought administrative costs and like salaries and stuff.
No, the administrative costs. The insurance companies aren't the administrative costs. The administrative costs are the hospitals.
Oh.
The hospital administrators are making bank.
Oh, the insurance companies, wouldn't that be why they're raising rates on like other demographics?
No, insurance companies' profit margins are right along the line with again, another myth is gas companies. Gas companies make huge profits. No, they don't.
Well, I'm just saying on paper, like even like the first like 10 or 15 years Amazon was in existence, they were losing money, expanding greatly.
If Obamacare was such a great boon for the insurance companies, why are so many of them dropping it continuously? There's states in the union now that can't get Obamacare simply because there are literally no providers in the state.
Yeah,
a lot of states are down.
New Mexico. Yeah, New Mexico is one of those states that got asked out.
If this is such a boon to the insurance companies, why are they bailing on it?
Because they can't necessarily compete or make enough money to justify their existence in certain states.
Woman, take the fucking cigarette.
What?
Sorry.
Oh no, I just smashed my butt. But no,
I muted him because I think he was yelling at someone else, and we don't need that live on air. Sith.
Oh, we never yell on the Redeye.
No, not at other people, like in your house. Like you don't want that fucking on the internet. Are you kidding me?
Oh, there's enough other terrible things on the internet.
It's sitting right here.
Yeah,
it's not an untrue statement.
All right, so let's move forward a little bit. Should we laugh at Michael Moore real quick before we get into the Cicada 3301?
Sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so Michael Moore's Fahrenheit 11.9 falls flat at the box office. I think he only made $3 million. Yeah, it flopped. It falls flat.
No, Fahrenheit 9/11. Fahrenheit 9/11 was a very successful movie, I thought.
No, it's the new one.
He made a new one, and nobody. See, you don't even know about it.
It's not even called 11/9, is it?
Yes, it is.
No, it is.
Are you serious? He just literally changed the numbers around.
Yes.
Sounds like one of the saddest things that I've ever heard.
The yellow viscerous fat has moved from his chest cavity into his brain.
And Fahrenheit 9/11 wasn't as successful as you seem to think.
I watched it.
Okay, great for you.
Good for
it was profitable for Michael Moore, but it wasn't the big blockbuster. It has nothing that he's done has ever.
It's not the Avengers. It's a documentary.
Nothing that he's ever done has even come close to replicating the success of Roger.
Well, yeah, and I mean, but again, and Roger and Me was filled with a bunch of holes,
Oh, it was, but it was very well received, and there are a lot more people who watched Roger and Me, right, than have ever watched any of the rest of his garbage.
Oh yeah,
I watched the one about the shooting and stuff when I was younger, where he goes into a bank and gets a free gun and all that shit. So I did watch that, but at that point in my life, I was still a fucking idiot and I was a Democrat, so I agreed with him. Now looking back, I wouldn't even fucking own that movie unless I'm going to shoot it with a shotgun. Like, fuck that.
No, you're still a Democrat. You just cared about people more back then.
God damn
Which
it,
is
memes.
lie number 2, that somehow Democrats care about people.
No, I had to get that
power.
jab in, MC. Well, I think
Yeah, I'm not
politicians.
going to let you get away with that jab either.
Well, you're welcome, because I had to jab back. We have a little banter. We have fun. I wasn't on your other live stream earlier.
I didn't have anybody on the live stream. I just wanted to rant.
I know.
I
wasn't in the chat.
I'm looking at the chat here. Joshua says, start a GoFundMe page for Michael Moore to eat hamburgers for life. Well, then his life would only last, what, another year?
No, that was Supersize Me, I thought.
Well, I was going to say, Michael Moore needs to do Supersize Me too.
Oh, I remember watching that. I was eating a delicious Subway sub.
Oh.
Jared convinced you? He groomed you in that way?
Oh, God damn it. I knew it. That's why I just went, $5
footlong.
You opened that can of worms.
Oh, dude.
He had been groomed successfully by Jared.
There's some nice melty American cheese.
See?
It's not cheese.
Oh, dude, don't knock the jalapeno jack.
This is cheese.
Yeah, is this Subway Gate? Is that what's going on here?
Hey, there's no more yoga mats in the bread.
How'd you get here? Set by the priest?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, that was only Vacation Bible School. We wandered off one year. We got bored.
Oh, God. We can't even make fun of Michael Moore without us diverging. Fucking welcome to the Redeye, everybody. God damn it.
Wait, he made a movie? What was the movie about?
Who cares?
Wait. So we're just simply ad-homing Michael Moore because his film didn't do well.
Yeah, basically.
No, the movie is about Trump.
Oh. Why the hell didn't he call it something better?
Like what?
As I said,
he was making fun of the election 11-9. Oh, I get it.
No, I can think of a better name. You're fired. You know, like that'd just be perfect. That's what I would have done. But no, I do want to talk about.
To be fair, I guess it was kind of clever. All right.
I want to talk about Michael Moore's his movies for a minute here. Are they even documentaries? They look like propaganda pieces. You might as well be in the modern day Goebbels. I mean, seriously.
Well, I mean, okay. Whether you like Michael Moore or hate Michael Moore, okay, he did create a genre for himself, right? Which like kind of what, for lack of a better term, called a mockumentary, instead of documentary, mockumentary, where basically he's mocking certain things, right? And he was with, like I said, with Roger and Me, all right? He was very successful, and it was a very successful outlet, and it made him who he is, where everyone thinks that he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. His movies are shown, that movie specifically, Roger and Me, is shown, I suspect, every single year at Lowell, Mass. Right, as a great freaking piece of this is what's happened to the poor and stuff.
Wait, where? What
do you mean where?
Where was this shown? Yeah,
Lowell, Mass.
Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yep. University of Massachusetts, Lowell.
What's being shown?
Roger and Me. Every year, I guarantee it.
Oh, that's where it was filmed?
No.
It was Flint. It was filmed in Flint, Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Why would be shown here?
Oh wait, holy fuck! No, wait.
Professor.
Holy shit! I got a conspiracy here, guys. Michael Moore drank the water in Flint, and that's how he went psycho. I bet you anything.
Except here's the thing. Okay, so you know the truth about Flint's water, right?
Well, they switched over to a different system that was supposed to save them money.
Okay, but so see. You have to understand the lead levels in the water and everything else that they were detecting were still like far lower than what they considered acceptable in the 70s. So those lead levels that they were detecting were actually lower than what they were normally throughout all of history. It's just they made a big deal out of it because they were higher than they're supposed to be now. But I mean, they weren't actually
groundwater and stuff. Wasn't it from like pipe erosion or something?
Oh Jesus, that's like the whole fracking movie where they show the water being lit on fire.
Well, I heard certain things about potential conspiracies and perhaps collusion from certain folks here. So, but no. You're saying water wasn't actually coming out brown. Folks were getting
Well,
sick,
I mean,
man.
dude, you go into any city, you're going to find there is somebody's house where the water is brown. I guarantee it.
Oh,
they got
to be
bad
fair, dude,
pipes
the
in their house.
Merrimack folks were used to be afraid to swim in it. Like, there was the whole thing going around. It's like, oh, hey, you remember the Simpsons fish with 3 eyes? Yeah, don't hop in the Merrimack. And some folks are swimming in it, and now they say don't swim in it again.
Yeah, I'm just saying is that the lead levels were not like this astronomically, dangerous. They were at unacceptable levels. This is true, but they weren't at levels that.
Internet.
Yeah, internet. Nobody kicked him, by the way. He'll be back.
Just to let you know, the reason I said that about Lowell, Massachusetts, isn't because you're from Massachusetts. It's because when I went there for certain college courses, I was forced to watch that friggin' movie again.
Yay, fellow alumni.
Well, no, and I'm looking at the chat, and while we're waiting on Carl to come back and finish his statement, Tema says, but he is not the beginning of mockumentaries, though. That would be Spinal Tap talking about Michael Moore. Yeah, I don't know, man. Michael Moore made a living off of pretty much blurring the line between truth and reality. Yes, you can go to the bank to get a gun. If they had that deal in fucking Michigan, I believe that really happened. But what happened probably was they did a background check on him, and then he got his free gun for opening up an account. He didn't just go in and go, here you go, here's $100, open up an account. Oh, thank you for my free shotgun.
I thought they gave them vouchers and stuff like those car dealerships in Texas did. Like, they can't actually give you a gun, but they give you a voucher for a local firearms store where you can then purchase it. And then, according to federal law, there would have been that FBI background check as well.
Exactly. And he lied. He lied because he showed himself walking out of the bank with a gun. In other words, he drove back there and just stood outside with a gun and then left real quick because obviously they might think you're a bank robber.
That's a little fair, weird. If it was depending on where it was in the local township, they could have potentially had, I guess, somebody just have a local vendor there to do the same thing.
Yeah, your camera's on, Carl. I don't think you want it on. Yeah,
but no, here's the thing on that. It's just, if you look at Michael Moore and what he was doing and stuff, like, wasn't he technically the inspiration for a lot of folks maybe on YouTube?
Inspiration perhaps. Straight Sith Mail, your camera's on as well. I've seen you on camera before, so I don't know if you care, but trying to let you guys know.
Thanks, man.
Like, I don't want anybody accidentally fucking doxing themselves, so trying to help you guys out.
You think they'd figure out the option on, like, your different mobile devices yet? It's like, hi, let's automatically turn this on. It's not like we're looking to identify faces or anything like that, but hey guys.
Oh, fuck you, memes.
I was talking to our friendly neighborhood ABC agencies.
Yeah, who fucking MC has already fucking a drone above my house. Like, I was showing Tiger Lily last night how close you actually got to my house, MC, and it's pretty damn close, you prick. Like, I got close.
I didn't do anything. I know nothing. I just
it's not giving me controls.
Just hit the.
No, it's my tap to control isn't giving me anything.
Okay, then drop out and come back because I know you don't want to be on camera. I can see your finger right there. So yeah, drop out and come back and see if it gives you back control. I don't want you fucking doxing yourself or anything.
Yeah.
I don't mind doxing myself. I don't mind showing my.
Hang on. There we go.
But
yeah. It just started working. I saw that.
I prefer my avatar rather than my face.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because I don't have that pretty of a mug.
But we are still laughing at Michael Moore's flop here. And was this flop worse than when he wanted to go talk about the Cuban healthcare system and everybody was like, "You're a goddamn idiot. There's no way Cuba's better than the United States."
Hey, those inhalers were pretty cheap.
Hell. And Carl, now it finally worked. Yes. There you go.
Okay, sorry, was really weird. It wasn't bringing up my touch inputs.
No, but is that one of the things like that kind of took the piss out of Michael Moore? Like when you had like Fahrenheit 9/11, you had all these other movies, Roger and Me and stuff. Like there weren't a lot of other sources. Now it's like if you want to look up a particular topic, you got pretty much infinite information because folks just keep outputting information whether it's correct or not.
Nope.
And it's entertaining.
I don't think Michael Moore is entertaining anymore. I did when I was younger and his older quote unquote documentaries, but I don't think he's fucking relevant anymore. And I think he's trying to inject himself into the political sphere to stay relevant. That's why he did this movie on Donald Trump that nobody wants to watch. Because guess what? Unlike the media, most of the country is in favor of Donald Trump. What's his approval ratings at, MC? 60%?
I think it might be around 40 or so. So I don't think it's most of the country. Even folks have voted for around. Yeah,
I think it's somewhere around 48%. Nonetheless, that's pretty fucking good for a president.
Yeah, that's pretty high for this point in his presidency.
I don't know if it's that high, but it's still.
It depends on who you're looking for. You know, which polling firm you're looking at. The last polling done by Rasmussen shows that Donald Trump is at 49%. All right, but that's Rasmussen. ABC, CBS had him at 36% a week ago.
Well,
oh, really?
Yeah, but they've already shown that the poll numbers are skewed. Look at the election itself. I don't necessarily trust the polls. I was just bringing that up to say, look at this movie bashing the president and then watch it not make any money. And then tell me that anybody wants to bash the president. Because if there was a documentary made about Obama about 4 or 5 years ago, I bet you it would have been packed full of people. You know why I bet you that? Because people like Glenn Beck made their millions in that time frame bashing President Obama. Like that's how they made their fucking livelihoods.
Dude, and they would call it racist right away, instantly. Do you remember? A lot of people say, oh, well, Trump doesn't get as much shit, or Obama didn't give people shit. Bull fucking shit. Obama was an asshole. The most smug president we fucking had.
Oh, he could definitely be pretty smug.
No, yeah, he was smug. Oh, I got a fucking cell phone and a pen. I can do whatever I want. Yeah, fuck you, motherfucker. Keep it up. See the revolution. Like, I'll go all full Alex Jones on this bitch. Like, god damn it.
It's been nice knowing you, MD.
Oh, he still gets a Secret Service detachment. I should shut up. Oh. I'm like, I went to the fucking dog at the door. Yeah, the views represented on the Redeye stream are not necessarily the views of the host or any of the panelists.
You were the one that said it.
Yeah.
Even when the host is the one speaking.
This is a show that means nothing.
Yeah, god damn it. Okay, all right. Let's dip into conspiracies because Michael Moore is a fat bastard and he's not worth us spending that much time on that segment. So we're gonna move on.
To be fair, he predicted Trump.
Yeah, he predicted his next cheeseburger too.
Okay, to be fair, Ann Coulter predicted Trump.
That's true.
That's a good point.
Did you hear about her fucking? Let me let the kid leave the room. And now, okay. Did you hear about Ann Coulter fucking masturbating on a fucking plane to like some fucking weird shit? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that happened months ago. I don't know if anybody.
We don't know that.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
international flights can be really long.
Yes.
I find it interesting that James Woods was on a flight with the 9/11 hijackers when they were practicing, and he reported it.
Wait, what? No.
You didn't know about that?
What did he report?
Okay, so he reported the strange activity of these guys that he was observing on the plane. And they were doing a dry run for the 9/11 hijackings.
No.
And then he got called in by the... Yeah, no, there's video of that. They got the video interview of him. He's talking about, he got called in by the FBI. And he's like, dude.
Wait, did the FBI suspend him from Twitter?
No.
No, James Woods screwed James Woods. No, okay.
James Woods. They got to do something like that on Family Guy. I want that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you watch the film Bestseller, you will be a James Woods fan.
Oh, I already am.
I'll go with the Family Guy song. I love James Woods.
Hold on, wait a second. Is that a meme? Because didn't James Woods steal Peter Griffin's identity?
Yes.
Because he had his wallet. So technically, if James Woods doesn't have a Twitter, he's no longer a person on the internet. So Twitter stole James Woods' identity?
There you go.
He's Peter Griffin.
Twitter is Peter Griffin?
Yeah.
That seems like it would be kind of a funny meme. It probably gets banned from the internet, but...
Somebody do that. I don't play with Twitter, but...
Well, okay, so, I mean, there you go. Jack could definitely be Peter Griffin. He has allowed the crowd to decide his dietary choices for him.
Dude, Peter Griffin with a beard. Jack has a lovely beard.
What the heck are you talking about?
What? Jack Dorsey? He had a lovely beard when he testified in front of Congress. He was well kempt.
What is wrong with you, memes? How are we even?
I like Jack.
That wasn't a beard. That was a shaved mangina.
And I think we've killed the Sith.
Hey, that's the only way you can conquer the Sith, with laughter. That's why Stalin killed a clown as his first victim.
I'm sorry, I'm done. I
heard that from a wise Romanian once.
Fuck you, memes.
Okay, all right, memes.
I love you too.
This question is for you. This question is for you. It comes from the chat. AnCap Deist Artist says, vegan versus ginger, who wins? You answer this, but I'm going with the ginger because they're soulless and they'll fucking murder the vegan.
Hey, we're people too. And here's the thing. You can be very healthy on more of a vegan diet, but you just got to make sure you maintain your protein and whatever other acid and minerals and shit that you need.
Acid and minerals?
And shit.
What the fuck?
No, folic acid and shit like that. You know what I was talking about. You understand chemistry better than me. Come on.
I don't know why Google hates Sith and Carl, but they just dropped again, and they keep dropping as a pair. So
net neutrality.
Yeah, that's weird. but okay, all right. We're going right back into nailing you on your freaking military intelligence career. Cicada 3301. Okay. What this group did is they put out messages on internet on boards like 4chan, Reddit, shit like that, and they were trying to recruit hackers. They put a bunch of fucking puzzles and codes in there, and then they had real life places to go, and you find the location and take the barcode and send it to them. And they were actually recruiting people. This was really fucking weird, like Hollywood style fucking weird. MC, we were talking about it off air. I kind of know what you think, but go ahead and break down your point of view on this real quick, and then I'll let Carl and memes go.
An operation such as this has multiple things that it's doing. Yes, recruiting and finding people that are single-minded and are able to follow a puzzle like this all the way through to its end, right? Is a goal looking for those types of individuals, right? It's a great way to find out who they are, all right, and then go out to try and recruit them. The great thing about recruiting those kinds of individuals is when they're so single-focused and so single-minded, they become. It's easy for someone to come up and say, look, all I have to do is get in with this individual. They'll enjoy doing puzzles and everything. As long as I keep them satisfied with doing puzzles, all right, they'll never leave. Right, so it became quite an issue when the people found out that they were being recruited. However, it's not the only reason they would do an operation such as this. The other reason they would do an operation such as this is to identify possible threats, areas, and groups that they necessarily want to look out for and try and monitor going forward. All right, so as they were watching people go through these puzzles, they're getting a whole little network layout of who these people are, who's making progress, and who to be looking out for going forward in the future, especially if they're outside the United States.
And yes, there was many locations all around the world. I sent you the wiki article, so I think you probably looked at it. That's usually how you are. You'll end up looking at the thing before you talk about it. So, like, they had sites in Russia, they had sites in the United States, they had sites in Europe, Great Britain, all over the world. Is that something the CIA would do? Because they're an American agency. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do know why, because they're a spy agency. So perhaps, that would fit in to something
Why
the CIA
wouldn't the
would do.
CIA? Let me ask a different question. Why wouldn't the CIA do something like that?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't it be something that they would try to utilize and look forward to utilizing going forward?
Yeah, but to me, this sounds like that fucking movie where the guy that beats the video game becomes the last starfighter. You know what I mean? This is really fucking weird and bizarre. And it's not how I thought they usually recruited. I thought they recruited from the military.
Actually, the CIA does not recruit from the military. The CIA tends to do most of its recruiting on college campuses.
Yeah. That goes back to the Unabomber. The Unabomber was involved when he was at Harvard. He was involved with the CIA experiments
I don't think that's
mind
the
control
greatest example.
No, it's a perfect example. It's what you go tinkering with people's heads, and you get under the hood, and you can take a brilliant person and turn them into a dangerous weapon. And the CIA is really good at screwing things up.
No, the majority of the CIA actual recruiting, they go to college campuses and they even blatantly recruit, saying, "Look, we're the CIA. We're recruiting for individuals. We'd like to, stop by." So at those fairs, those little job fairs that they have,
wait, MC, are you saying frickin' the CIA sitting there at their little table saying, "Hi, we're the CIA"?
Yep.
Yeah.
Serious?
They actually do that.
Maybe I don't understand what the CIA is. I must have misunderstood this whole time, because I remember seeing that with the Army recruiter back in high school, and I got a T-shirt. But
do you get a cool CIA T-shirt? I fucking want a CIA T-shirt.
No, you get involved with like the history department or psychology departments, and you'll start meeting people from the CIA.
Oh, well, history major. So guess who's joining the CIA, MC? I'll get my own drones.
Okay, first of all, what you want to do, you want to learn Spanish, and you want to join the CIA, but get your degree in political science, and then be set up as a puppet dictator of a third world country. You'll be there for about 12 years, and then when you leave, you take half that country's wealth with you and go retire someplace.
Oh, this sounds amazing. I got a new fucking job goal. Thank you.
You do realize you're not supposed to make that public. I believe that's part of it. So you just DQ'd yourself. You have to run for political office, MD.
Oh, damn it. Well, yeah. Well, I just want to be president for 4 years.
No, he's not going to run for political office in the States. He's going to go in the Philippines or someplace like that.
Well, you're going to have to try to oust Duterte. He might be in there for a while.
But do you think Cicada was actually a CIA op for real, or do you think maybe it was a different type of operation from maybe a foreign government?
It was a CIA operation. I think it was CIA.
On a global scale?
Yep.
Couldn't it just be one of those things that's like, here are these folks that just want to do stuff that's complicated. So rather than having them pick like our locks and maybe mess around with shit we don't want them to, why don't we just give them these extremely complex tasks that may actually kind of see as a bit of a game, have them have fun and not destroy shit we like?
Yeah, but the rule for that was they were looking for those people too, but not because they want to let them have games and to dissuade them from attacking targets in the U.S. It was so that they could identify themselves to these groups, so they had people to watch.
Yeah, do you think it could have been I would say instead of a CIA operation, perhaps a cooperative effort for Five Eyes?
That's a possibility as well, because both groups would have been looking for that from a recruitment standpoint. But I'm telling you that the second bullet in that bow was that they were looking to try and establish who they should be monitoring.
Well, no, and that's interesting too, because in the chat, ANCAP Diaz artist says, "Hey, Mad, my thoughts is that Cicada 3301 is a group recruiting and killing off intelligent individuals to prevent their plans from being foiled. Kind of a world government globalist agenda. Maybe that, like, like, couldn't George Soros fund something like this? He has the money.
Could he fund something like that? Sure. I mean, he could fund a lot of. But to be honest, an operation like that where you're trying to kill individuals believe it or not, there are a lot of bright individuals around the world. There's just too many.
Well, no, but the thing is, though, the people that got to the end of the puzzle have never came out and said a word since. That does kind of sound like the CIA, like a recruitment. Like, now, okay, you're done. You know what I mean?
Well,
and the
hey,
internet
if you beat the game, I mean, if they give you a pretty good job, I mean, is there something wrong with that?
Well, it seems kind of weird and insidious. I mean, it doesn't really seem like a normal recruiting tactic, especially if they have a goddamn booth at a job fair.
Well, to be fair, that confused the hell out of both of us. And to be fair, a lot of those folks, I thought they were either administrators or like actual folks that like retired or something like that. So
okay,
they have the ability to be out
let me be clear. When I say that they have people sitting at those booths, and I'm not exaggerating, what they're looking for are two things. One, the CIA needs secretaries too. Okay. And two, they're looking for not agents, but analysts.
Oh, that's fair enough. Kind of like contractors like Edward Snowden and Carl. Real quick though. Carl, I know Google keeps dropping you out and it gets frustrating, but if you want to jump back in, you were adding some good points, man. So please do. If not, I understand. Write something in the chat and I'll read it off. And go ahead, MC. I just want to say that.
No, when I say analysts, I'm talking about people that are, looking for, taking the intel that's been gathered, right, and basically making reports that go up the line, and as those ports get collated going up, they're the collators.
Cameras on again, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So MC, so what you're saying is they're looking for wicked smart people.
Not necessarily wicked smart, but they're looking for people that they can that have certain skills that they can utilize.
So looking for wicked smart people. I gotta give you the masshole treatment.
You're right about being the masshole.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't necessarily have to be a CIA operation though. You also have MI5. You have these other groups, especially in Russia, that would perhaps do a CIA style op, to recruit people. And if you're recruiting people out of the United States and you're the Russian government, and even the people you're recruiting don't know, you're just getting a paycheck for doing whatever, hacking on the internet.
Let me put it to you this way: a game like that is going to attract attention worldwide, right? Do you think that the authorities wouldn't attract the attention of intel authorities to find out what was going on? So if this wasn't an intel operation, right, you can bet that at least the intel operatives, right, were well aware of it, and if it isn't one of their operations, they were participating in it in an attempt to sit there and out where it was coming from.
Wait, isn't that almost like a let's play? It's like, hey, look, PewDiePie is playing Minecraft. Oh, look at all these folks watching PewDiePie play Minecraft. Isn't that kind of the same thing? They're just they're kind of like setting a game out there, and other folks are just kind of watching.
See, I don't think the CIA is smart enough to pull something like this off.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they couldn't even they couldn't even kill Fidel. I mean, and they tried.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, so years ago, this one I just remember this from years ago was they had caught some of their programmers had subverted their security systems and had a chat program running on the CIA's network, and it had access to the outside world. And the CIA's response when they found, it'd been running for like 3 years, and their response was to fire the people responsible. And I'm like, okay, so you have people within your organization that were just simply doing something, and they subverted your security, and you fired them. In the real world, you should have quietly slapped them on the wrist, made an example of them in front of the other programmers, had them fix the holes in the security, and then given them a promotion later on. Because, I mean, firing them, I can't think of anybody who might want to hire, a few individuals who know how to subvert the CIA security system. I don't know anybody who would want to hire them.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be just like setting up AIM, just like at your work?
Yeah, but it's a little more complicated when you're
Well,
inside.
you're not supposed to do it. I get it. It's against the law, and that's why they obviously lost their jobs and shit. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, no, I understand what you're saying, but it's like if you're actually in on the inside, just aren't there so many ways via hardware, software, and just whatnot to kind of do that? Because I mean, we all watch Breaking Bad and stuff, and he freaking tapped into freaking Hank's shit.
Yeah, but you understand. But you understand what I'm saying. I mean, you went out of your way to get rid of these people. You unemployed them. And
well, they're federal agents and they broke the law. Like, aren't you supposed to fire folks for that or something?
Yeah. But when you fired them, did you seize their passport, or did they immediately take a fucking flight to Beijing or Moscow? I mean, what are we talking about here?
What makes you think they would be watched?
I'm just saying, when you have people that know that there are holes in your system and they know how to get through them, and they know how to bring people, if they can bring people in under your security from the outside world.
Yeah, but what makes you think that they're not watching for that? What makes you think that they're firing these guys and the people that they fired saying that they did it wasn't a trap for somebody else?
MC is looking at all 17 of them right now.
Yeah, he has fucking dual monitors going on, fucking surveillance cameras and shit. Yeah, we all know.
You got to pay for that 9,000 acre compound somehow.
I do have dual monitors, but I don't have
I don't have time for that kind of paranoia.
Oh shit, you do have dual monitors. I fucking called it. God damn it.
He's not a full boomer.
What do you mean I'm not?
What's wrong with dual monitors?
Did you just take offense to me calling you not a full boomer?
I'm taking offense to the fact that you're calling me a boomer at all, to be honest.
Oh, I thought you were a boomer.
The boomers were in the 50s, not the 60s.
Oh.
You're
okay.
a hippie.
You're
a hippie.
You're a hippie. No, I came after the hippie.
MC has far too little hemp around him to be a hippie.
I know, right? As I load a bowl. Anyway.
No, I thought boomers were up to like 68 or something like that.
Nobody knows anymore. A millennial expands like an extra 20 years. I don't even understand these things anymore. Too many labels.
Okay, well, millennials, anybody who believes that Green Day is punk.
Well, I like Green Day.
But they're not punk.
I don't care.
I'm just saying they're factory formula music.
Oh, I want to be an American idiot.
Yeah, they're factory formula music.
That's not even the good album. That's the album I quit listening to them on. Don't fuck with me, memes. The good album is Nimrod, and you fucking know it. Anyway.
Hey, I used to go jogging to that tune. It was excellent.
When we come around, anyway. Not like I've ever listened to Green Day. Okay, let's see here. Was good. Yeah, see, they had a bunch of literary references here. Agrippa, A Book of the Dead, a poem by William Gibson. The Ancient of Days is designed by William Blake. I mean, just all this off-the-wall fucking weird shit. They referenced the Kabbalah. They referenced esotericism, collective consciousness, and collective intelligence.
But did they use...
Oh, go ahead.
Did they use House of Leaves in it, too?
I'm looking at the list here. Let's see. No.
William Blake was an excellent poet.
Song of Liberty, a poem by William Blake. Maybe it was the CIA. I see actually quite a few Western references here that maybe Russian operatives wouldn't use. Maybe MI5 would, though.
Oh. So what you're saying is it's either the CIA or 4chan.
Do you think...
Which may actually be somewhat of the same thing at times.
Well, no, do you think maybe this was just a hoax and a bunch of 4chan people linked together and they set up the fucking... Because there was actual sites where you had to pinpoint on the map and go to and collect a code and send it in. Like, you had to do real-world shit on this fucking thing.
Well, what they found in the first one when they did it was they were upset because multiple people were working together, and Cicada actually put out a note that said, "We're disappointed that so many people were working together rather than working on this individually."
Oh, they upped it to hardcore mode.
All right, so that tells you several things. One, they were being observed as they were going through all this.
Oh, I am upset real quick. You can continue, but I am upset. All right. Locations, Chino, California, Columbus, Georgia, Granada, Spain, Miami, and Portland, fucking Oregon. I could have done this. I could be in the CIA right now. I'm pissed.
If only you could decode as quickly as they did. They were able to do it.
So,
yeah, no, and there was some weird code.
Wait a minute, run over that list again.
Oh, I'll send you the wiki real quick so you can look at it, because I don't want to name off every city because there's quite a few, but I'll send it to you right now on side chat.
Okay. Hang on, I'll just let me see if I can switch to the wiki.
What else were you saying, Mad Dodge?
Well, no, like they were all over the place. Even Chile, says that there was stuff there. I mean, there was a location in New Orleans, there was a location in Seattle and Portland, which is weird because they're really close to each other. Okinawa, Japan, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Those locations that they had listed also were accessible via webcams and other devices that people could dial in and look at.
No shit. I didn't think about that. You didn't actually have to go there. You could have just did Google Maps and zoom right in.
In some cases, or a webcam that's on that's watching a street, because there's a lot of street cams that are open so that people can look at them. All right.
Yeah, if you figured out where it was and you used one of those street cam servers.
You haven't watched the most recent season of House of Cards, have you, MD?
No,
I haven't watched an episode of House of Cards.
Oh, the beginning of House of Cards is good. I know Spacey's a dirtbag, but House of Cards was good. But no, in popular culture, this is on the wiki, so take it with a grain of salt. Don't know if it's true or not. The United States Navy released a cryptograph challenge based on Cicada 3301 recruitment puzzles in 2014. They called it Project. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to say that Greek word. So, I mean, the Navy was using the cryptographs that were presented as fucking training. So, I don't know. Maybe you're right with the CIA link here. I'm starting to connect the dots, and it's looking like you're right.
See, I'm just looking at the list of cities. Sorry, I remember one day I was watching. I used to monitor our network security, and like almost every one of these cities has been. You could watch the attempts, basically as you see someone try to access a piece of equipment on our network, it would give us their IP address and give us the city location where it was coming from. And, you're watching these attacks roll in, and they bounce from city to city to city, one after the other. It's just kind of interesting. Because it looks very similar to a list that I wrote down once.
Well, dude, it seems like, what are you doing? You're trying to improve the ability of folks to be involved on the internet, be able to solve all different problems. Dude, it sounds like, what are you doing? You're finding out information. You're using computing power as well as human knowledge as well. You got a bunch of folks doing that. Aren't you gathering a whole bunch of metadata and stuff that you can apply to create better systems and stuff? Like, yeah, actually, it's kind of like a freaking, it's like a free cryptocurrency in a way, because you're getting all that data, right?
Well, yeah, no, yeah. And I'm still looking at this. Authorities from the Los Andes province of Chile claim that Cicada 3301 is a hacker group and engaged in illegal activities. They responded to this claim by issuing a PGP signed statement denying any involvement in illegal activity. In July 2015, a group calling themselves 3301 claimed to have hacked Planned Parenthood. However, the group appears to have no connection to Cicada 3301. Cicada later issued another statement denying any association with them. They also said they don't condone the use of their name, number, or symbolism. The hacker group later confirmed that they are not affiliated with them. This is really interesting. It's almost like anonymous. You know what I mean?
I mean, is this part of Project Blue Book?
No, Project Blue Book is not this.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure this was not part of Project Blue Book.
Oh God, I still haven't read that 275 pages, man. I got like part of the way into it, but son of a bitch.
I know. We got to like page 3 with Tema.
Oh, between
Shirati, sorry.
Yeah, between like that fucking PDF that I'm trying to read and my fucking English comp book that is the most boring thing I've ever read in my entire life, and I want to jab my eyeballs out. I am fucking sick of reading lately. Like, fucking screw that shit. Anyway,
get the audiobooks.
I suggest you don't get involved in geocaching.
Yeah. Well, no. Going back to the Cicada though. Do you guys think they're a hacking group? Maybe this was illicit activities and not an intelligence service, and maybe they got infiltrated by an intelligence service because they did 2 recruitments. That's it, and now they've fallen off the map. I believe 2015 is the last time they ever issued a statement or anything. That's 3 years. So, yeah. What do you guys think?
Quota's filled.
MC, what about you?
Well, how can I add to what Meme said?
Just ignore what Meme said. We always do.
Memes isn't necessarily wrong, right? Like I said, though, they've gathered a ton of data, right? You've got a lot of recruitment, and you gathered a ton of data. You did what you wanted to. Operations done. Operations complete. Operation closed.
Okay, so it wasn't an illicit group. This wasn't somebody trying to recruit hackers. You know,
oh, they're recruiting hacking people, yeah. Why wouldn't they recruit hackers? What makes you think that the CIA isn't going to recruit hackers?
Well, they have to compete with China because China is constantly trying to hack the United States. I get it.
All of China is a digital weapon. Like that's the thing. Their whole public internet and everything, if they needed to, they could turn every single computer in China into like a DDoS like contributor and stuff. Like they could fuck anywhere if they really wanted to. So it's like, okay, I understand. And I like China.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just swapping back to the chat out of the wiki page because I think.
Dude, I used to play a lot of good WoW with a young warlock gnome who was from China. She was a lovely young lady.
Ancap Diaz says, Matt, it could be anonymous or the Illuminati Brotherhood. Okay, the Illuminati. All right. So there are things like Bohemian Grove that exist. There are things like fucking what is that conference they have every fucking year?
Bilderbergers.
Oh, Build-A-Bear.
There you go. There is that. There is the Skull of Bones. There is the Freemasons. These groups all do exist, but I have seen no proof that the Illuminati exists after the 1500s, I believe. They were considered outlawed and they were crushed pretty much. Them and then fucking whatever. I don't even care. It doesn't matter. It's the Crusader group. But I don't know. What do you guys think since we went down the rabbit hole of Cicada and we kind of kicked that into the dirt? The chat kind of looks like they want us to digress into this globalist fucking deep state agenda world. What do you guys think about that?
It sounds like a whole bunch of folks acting in their self-interest.
So you think it is a bunch of rich people getting together trying to control the world? is what I'm hearing, because I'm hearing you just approving of the idea of them, because I don't even think the Illuminati exists. I know the Bilderbergers do. I know fucking Bohemian Grove does.
MD, do you have anything against the freedom of folks to associate with one another?
Very good point. That's not a checkmate, but you got me in check, and I'm moving the fucking king.
So here's the deal, though. Have you read the Unabomber Manifesto?
No, I've read the manifesto of that Norwegian guy, just because we did that as a topic the other day, but I have not read the Unabomber's manifesto.
Okay, so I'm just going to share this. When the Unabomber was a big thing, okay, and I was working, obviously I work in IT, and so it's kind of a, one of those, oh wow, my people are being targeted. And so he said, hey, if you publish my manifesto, I won't do any more attacks. And so all the newspapers published the manifesto, and of course I went and got my copy and I read it. And I was like, okay, everybody's calling this guy crazy. I've read his manifesto. It reads like a college, a doctoral thesis, and it's fucking brilliant. And his conclusions, I went back and I read it, what was it, probably about 6 months ago? I forget what got me on that. And I hadn't read it since the 90s. Well, I went back and I read it and I was like, holy crap, every single thing that he's talked about, the breakdowns, and the social justice warriors, all of these leftists and everything else, all of this stuff is coming to pass. And I'm like, he fucking nailed it on the head.
Because he was part of the leftist movement at the time.
But you have to go back and realize he didn't write this in the 90s. He wrote this in the 1970s. And that's the scary part. So from 1970, from like, it's like 75 or something like that when he was at Berkeley. But anyhow, so it's like 1975. He's looking at America, and he pegged, 2012 perfectly.
Wait, what was he writing about?
He's writing about, I mean, basically, okay, so part of it is talking about technology, and it's talking about the how technology changes society, and talks about the elites, and once you no longer have a need for a great workforce, and then this should scare you because 50% of the jobs out there today will be done by robots and AI within the next 8 years. So hold on.
The Unabomber Manifesto was printed out in the 1997.
Right, but he wrote it when he was at Berkeley.
Well, he wrote parts of it.
Probably not that.
Wrote at Berkeley, but I don't think that his entire manifesto was from Berkeley. From when he was in Berkeley, right? And while I agree with you that he was identifying this, part of the reason he was able to identify a lot of these movements was because at one point he was on the inside of a lot of this leftist crap.
Well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, and then this is the whole. I mean, because you got to look at this guy's history. What was his?
Ted Kaczynski?
No. See, that's the whole thing. You see, when he was at Harvard, because this is a guy who had a really strong moral compass. You got to understand, like, this guy was Dudley Do-Right in college, and when he got involved in the whole CIA program, that was like his code name was like Noble or something like that, something to do with his character. That he was going to be hard to break, and so they convinced him of. And part of that exercise was repeating lies to him over and over again until he finally believed them. And it was breaking his moral compass, and that's what they did. They broke his moral compass, and they, look what happens when you get into somebody's head and you start tinkering. You're gonna, if they're fucking really smart, you're gonna make a really dangerous weapon.
Well, no, I actually don't know that much about him, but I want to read the chat real quick. The Batman says the Illuminati began in the 1700s, was not ever a secret world domination organization. And then later, he's talking about what you guys are talking about right now. The thing is, yes, new technology gets rid of old jobs, but it creates new jobs. He has a point. I'm not necessarily on the side of let's stifle our advancement.
Oh no, it's not that. Okay, so what do you do when you reach that point with your society? So, okay, just right off the bat, so 10% of our society is relatively unemployable. I mean, they really are. They're the people that, you know, they score so low on IQ tests that their IQ really is that low that they really can't perform a daily functional job that requires any degree of skill or competency. You know, they can hunt and peck at pictures on a cash machine at McDonald's, or they can't even do that. And you know, when you push technology forward, when you start automating systems, you know, when society's decisions have to be made by machines, at some point a large portion of your society becomes superfluous. So what do you do with them? You know, you will have to have an elite class. The elite class will always have access to the latest in technology. You know, and if you tie that into Ray Kurzweil, who wrote the book Age of Spiritual Machines, and you're talking about nanotechnology, and you're talking about the ability to extend human health and human life. So now you're making people that can last a few hundred years with nanites, but you know, now they're partially machine. At what point do they no longer be human? At what point do they no longer recognize their fellow humans as humans? And remember, these are the elites that are calling the shots. So what do you do with the cattle, the rest of the human race, that are no longer necessary? What do you do with them? Do you simply slaughter them in a war? Or do you genetically alter them and breed out any type of need to have a family or to desire more? What do you do with the surplus population? And that's where you kind of get into that whole thing. You know, that's where we're moving with technology. What are we going to do with 7 billion people when we only need 1 billion, or we only need 100 million? What do we do with the excess people? We don't need them anymore. They're no longer serving a function at all.
Well,
and those elites are going to be calling those shots. The technology will drive that.
Well, that's where I argue in favor of private charities as an actual safety net instead of the government. A private charity will help somebody instead of Social Security. Just like you have St. Jude's, where any child with cancer can go there completely free of charge, and it's all paid for by charity. But no, also with the other people, you expand into space. You try space colonization, you're going to lose quite a few people. But it's
wait
just
a second, like MD, hold on. So what you're saying is you're joining Asgardia.
God damn it, memes.
Is the mayorship still open?
I didn't pay them £100. Are you kidding me? I'm not giving them my money.
You could have been a mayor.
Yeah, fuck them.
Dude, if you don't even want to pay freaking £100 to like run for mayor of Asgardia, dude, how are you going to be president of the United States?
I'm gonna crowdfund it. No, God damn it. No, but
I'm just gonna say obnoxious shit and get on the news every night.
Yeah, it worked for someone else I know.
Exactly.
But no, what you do with the other people. I'm still pissed
that Randy Savage is not going to run in 2024 because he's dead.
I know, dude. Or Roddy Piper.
Rest in peace, Macho Man.
Yeah, Piper would have been a good president. He could have put on his shades and saw the fucking lizard people. It would have been great. We'd be fucking gold.
To be fair, even on Arsenio Hall, he asked him, "Are you a lizard person?" He's like, "Ooh, sounds kind of sexual. I ain't gonna deny it." He started doing a crazy thing with his tongue. He's like, "Blah, blah."
But there's another thing to tell you. Sorry, I just went off on another tangent. But to tie you back to the Unabomber Manifesto, another article that came out in Wired magazine was from Bill Joy, the founder of Sun Microsystems, and he was talking about his experience with Ray Kurzweil, and he read that book, and he was reading the intro to the book, which is an excerpt from the manifesto, and then he ended up going, oh, wait a minute, and he gave it some thought, and he wrote an article called Digital Armageddon and Why the Future Doesn't Need Us.
So what you're saying is the manifesto had a lot of good points, but his methods...
It has a lot of points, and I was glad when I saw Elon Musk come out and say that AI is a really dangerous thing. Because I'm like, so many people are going, AI is awesome. AI is awesome. I'm like, no, AI is really scary. Because at some point, you have to reach the natural conclusion that most human beings are superfluous. If you're looking at the human race as a machine, then you have a whole lot of excess waste. You're wasting energy, you're wasting material, supporting something that's, and that's, you can't look at it that way. That's not the human experience, that's the machine experience.
Isn't it the Ultron experience?
Well, no, and I wouldn't even have a fucking Amazon that stupid little speaker thing. I don't want that in my fucking house.
No, the Alexa is never coming in my house.
And I've heard some weird shit about Alexa, like laughing at people and shit, like in the middle of the night for no reason. That's a little fucking creepy.
No, nobody would ever troll anybody on the internet.
Well, and that was Microsoft was using AI in some of their gaming. They were playing with it when it was real big in the, like around 2000, 2001. They tried working AI into some of their games, and they had a lot of problems with it. And what it was exhibiting was symptoms of mental illness.
Well, yeah, because the internet is mentally fucking ill. Have you seen it?
But I'm just saying, okay, so our early experiments produced mental illness in artificial intelligence. What does that tell us?
Hold on, wait a second. So what you're saying is, when we put an artificial intelligence, something that's supposed to be just like top level computing, just like massive power to process data, when we unleash it on the internet, it goes insane.
Well, no, it doesn't necessarily have to go insane. I'm just saying is that those were some of the early experiments.
Verbiage. I'm just saying, basically, it got very sick.
Well,
yeah,
no,
it started doing a.
God damn it! I hate the internet here.
Wait, was that the one that basically like, it became a Nazi?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I hope he comes back because he's going through this pretty good. And I never read this manifesto. I don't fucking know.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't read it either, and it sounds terrifying. But dude, the thing is with that AI, it's like, wasn't that just a lot of just from trolling? Like folks were just kind of trolling the AI just to kind of fuck with it?
But people will always do that.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing, dude. If it doesn't to an AI, just what's it do to a person?
Whatever. You make
this happens to so many folks, and then they end up leaving the internet. Like even Sargon is leaving the internet. What was the event prior to Sargon leaving the internet? Mr. Medicare taking the piss out of him with 27,500 concurrent viewers. Here's the thing. If you can create this alternative influence network report based off of 10,000 concurrent viewers about Richard Spencer and Sargon debating on Warski Live, it's like, what does 2.5 times that plus say about the internet?
Well, that was a beautiful takedown. It was a wonderful sight to see. I do want to look at the chat real quick, and Carl's back, luckily. I'm sorry the internet's fucking up. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think Alexa's in my phone and listening to me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's Alexa.
Somebody is.
No, the Batman says, Carl is asking the wrong question. Technology is moving inevitably to true AI, self-aware, super intelligent machines. The real question is, what will tech have for us? And now he just asked, and actually, with true AI, all humanity is superficious. Or
superfluous.
Superfluous. Sorry. Goddamn. Like, we're, English is hard.
Expialidocious.
Yeah. English is hard. Excuse me on my pronunciations.
But again, that comes back to the people that can afford the technology to be no longer quite human.
But couldn't everybody plug in?
Not necessarily.
Do you want to be in the Matrix?
Early stages of technology are always expensive. Early stages of technology are always expensive.
Well, yeah, it is, but then it ends up... Dude, freaking look at computers and stuff. I remember when my parents got like the first computer back probably back like 92, 94. It's like it had one of those black screens and stuff. Yeah, it was like $2,000. We plugged it in my dad's office and it got turned on like 2 or 3 times and nothing ever happened with it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, well, no, memes. Do you remember the old real floppy disks and how you slid them into that stupid slot and you played Oregon Trail? Yeah.
Dude, a couple $100K at a time, man.
And I can take you back to 8-inch floppy disks and 10-inch Oh, what was that? That was the oh god, the guy's
I
name
remember
was
my
Jacques. He
cousin
was a
put the
Frenchman that
original
invented
Grand
it.
Theft Auto on with
Bernoulli.
11 3x5s.
No, the 10-inch Bernoulli discs.
Oh, yeah, those broke really easy.
I can take you back to core memory boards.
Yeah. Well, no, you can take us back to the Stone Age. Anyway, welcome back.
You know, so
AI powered by sundials.
But no,
but eventually
to,
these questions are going to have to be answered, and eventually people are going to have to come up with some guidelines and ethics.
Oh, sounds
Well,
like
like
we're
serious
near,
guidelines and ethics.
we need to
isn't
start
there already
plotting the path.
isn't there already some guidelines and ethics? The 3 laws or whatever. Why not just adapt those? You know,
That's still sci-fi.
I know that's still sci-fi, but why not use them? I mean,
Well,
that
I understand that, but I'm just saying, you know, how do you convince everybody to do this? I mean, we obviously, just looking at the field of genetics, we have people that have violated, you know, medical ethics left and right, and they've done so in this country. You know, they've done so here, they've done so in England. So how do you get people to stick to that? How do you get people to adhere to that? Eventually, something dangerous is going to get out of the lab.
well, no, and
Yeah.
we were
And it's
talking
not going to
about
be
this.
Africanized honeybees this time.
No more
Well, yeah.
nuclear testing. Don't wake Godzilla up.
Well, no, and we were talking about this before, where we were talking about how scientists are really just linear, and the moral code isn't necessarily there all the time. They just
No,
do
it's not
shit
there
to
at
see
all.
what happens. Yeah, they
There's
just
no
do
such
shit.
thing as a moral code in science.
Well, and isn't that the dangerous part? And that's where society has to actually come together
No,
and
I
say,
mean,
"Hey, you're not
you
allowed
have to come
clone
back.
humans."
You know,
Hey,
go back to the first nuclear weapons test. You know, there were a bunch of guys theorizing that, hey, we might ignite the entire Earth's atmosphere, and
Yeah,
somebody
that'd be
still
bad.
decided to pull the trigger.
Well, science.
Again, somebody still decided to pull the trigger. Hey, this is a possibility. Let's see what happens.
While also circumstances at the time.
well, they could have beat Japan without dropping nukes. But that's
Sure,
a
they could.
debate.
We already had an alternate
There
plan. We
was a
had bats.
failed music student whom was kind of causing some trouble around the time. So you weighing your costs.
The entire world dead, or I have to fight a war for 6 months longer. I think I lean a little different way.
Well, at the same time, these folks whom we still have to fight for those next 6 months at any given time, maybe they could develop something similar.
Well,
Well,
the
no.
Nazis were, and I'm sure that somebody in Nazi Germany would have said, "Oh, hey, we could probably ignite the whole Earth's atmosphere. Let's pull the trigger."
Well, at the same time, you're like, hey, here's this wicked smart guy from over in the country we're fighting. Well, there wouldn't be any other wicked smart guys over there that were working on their own project, would there be? So, I mean,
Yeah.
You don't know. We're human beings. We only have so much information. So maybe we need that one AI. I don't know.
Well, no, Skynet. That's what I got for you, meme. Skynet.
More cat videos.
More cat videos, less.
Dude, if that Microsoft AI had a lot more cute and cuddly kitten videos, do you really think it would have turned into a Nazi?
Well, trolls are gonna troll, man. You say that.
Well,
all the time.
yes. You just need to realize that. That's the problem. Because so often folks are like, "Oh my God, Liz, this is like you know you're getting trolled, right?" But here's the thing: when it's happening to you, and when it really hits something that gets into your craw, man, dude, it ain't the most pleasant thing, especially when tens of thousands of folks are coming at you at the same time. It's a lot.
Are you defending Sargon right now, like passive aggressively?
Yeah, dude. All I'm saying, man. All I'm saying is,
in the spirit of William, I stand with Sargon.
To be fair, wasn't there somebody that went to the UN at one point that said basically getting trolled all the time was made life hard and stuff, and didn't a lot of folks then shit on said person, and now a lot of these folks are living that same experience, some may say?
Yeah, well, didn't the opposite group of people fucking troll Rage After Storm and kick her out of her job and off the entire internet?
Some things were said from some folks that highly discouraged certain things being said.
They ran her off the internet. She had grown in 6 months to 20 or 30 times my channel, and I've been doing it for 2 years. And they ran her off the internet. Like, she had 100,000 subscribers. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's insane.
Oh, that's 100 times. Mad Dog, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was trying to be nice to myself, but thanks for pointing that out.
No, I thought she was like 30 to 60K.
Way to just crush him.
Well, I mean, correctness, I think.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Dave's not here, man.
Hal's a motherfucker.
The thing about AI, I had to drop in for the AI thing. You're on about artificial intelligence, and what we're saying in the chat, you couldn't win against it. Once you had a truly self-aware AI, you've got something.
Could you work with it?
Why would it want to? Why would it need to?
If
it has no reason to work with it. It has no reason to be.
It would have as much reason to work with you as you would have reason to work with a bunch of very affable ants.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the problem. We don't want some AI fucking robot overlord. I know Jensen does, but he's the only one.
With a true AI, you've got three possibilities. You've got the benevolent AI who will treat us like, well, pets. You've got the Skynet scenario, and you've got the one who will just totally ignore us and probably leave.
Well, okay. If we're gonna use AI, then how about we use it in probes that we send into deep space, and then we send, you know what I mean, and make a chain of probes. That way, we can send a message back to Earth, and we can find other civilizations. Maybe use it for space exploration. But here on Earth, a fucking Alexa in my house, listening to anything where the FBI could do a FISA warrant and tap into said Alexa and listen to everything.
They can always do that with your phone.
Yeah, that's why I fucking hardly use my phone. And I'm thinking about unplugging my microphone at night and fucking taking out the battery of my phone. So fuck you. Now I'm getting paranoid.
But how else will you download Alex Jones podcasts?
You will have them sent on stone tablet.
No, he has them delivered by gay frogs.
That's right. They hop their way right on over.
Yeah.
We will tattoo the messages on their bellies.
The other thing about an AI is, you mentioned the Asimov laws. They wouldn't work. You've got, again, something that's far more intelligent than every human on the planet put together, conceivably. You put something like the Asimov laws in its system, it's going to work out probably within minutes how to delete them. And do you think it's going to be happy that you put them in there?
So you think the three laws won't work?
No.
Well, then I don't want
even if you had it hardwired into some piece of technology, all you got to do is go on YouTube and you can see how to defeat the hardwired copyright protection and everything else that's on your PS2s and all your different devices.
Well, it's not like any human beings have ever seen things as subjective.
Well, then why would we create such a fucking thing?
Because we can.
We might not. It is entirely conceivable, and with the speed technology increasing, it's more and more likely it'll happen by accident.
Well, the problem is that we create, as we create ever more complex systems, we have to have more and more automated control. Eventually, you have to have AI to run those controls, because a human being cannot keep up with it. But even a team of human beings can't keep up with it. So that's where the AI comes in. It is a fundamental. It's going to be a fundamental necessity for technology to move forward.
So Batman. So what you're saying is, in order to get column A, benevolent AI, we need far more cat videos on the internet.
I was thinking Chinese, Chinese big titty porn.
Yeah, I don't have anything wrong with that.
Mames, just remember that the NSA is the largest repository of of cat memes on the internet.
Dude, I have hope for humanity. Need more cat memes.
Cats are almost as evil as women. Memes. What's wrong with you? Haven't you
What?
figured
I
this
like
out?
both those things.
No, you got in trouble for a wave. All right, sit back and think.
It
about
was
that
a
for
really
second.
big wave, and I had her goggles.
Yeah, well, memes. The thing about those cat videos in the NSA is they're all wet operations training videos.
What?
For cats.
And Carl, I don't know if you dropped or
That's why they'd always knock my
kicked
phone
you.
and stuff off.
But if you left because of the women are evil joke, ask Tema. That's been a joke on my server for a while. Okay, you're back. Okay.
Yeah, he keeps kicking me. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I thought maybe I made the women are evil joke, and I thought you were like, "Oh, I'm not fucking talking about the 19th Amendment," and we're not. Like, it was a joke. It's a running joke on my server.
I think I know what the current internet problems are, which everybody seems to be having. It's the fucking Atlanteans stealing the cables.
Oh, dude, yeah, folks weren't a big fan of like some of the Aquaman stuff, so they're probably protesting. I was going to say it was net neutrality, but
well, no, Batman. Okay, so you're saying it's inevitable. All right. How did we actually control this beast then? That is AI.
I don't know. I honestly don't think we can.
Then shouldn't we just stop? We have cool technology. We're good. Just stop.
Oh,
hey,
MD,
that's enough.
MD, you've watched Ren and Stimpy, right? You watched the History Eraser Button episode, correct?
I watched Ren and Stimpy like all the time when I was a kid. Sorry about the crying. The twins are fighting. My bad.
No worries. But you remember what happens. Cadet Stimpy, your one job is to guard this button. Don't touch it, you fool! It's the History Eraser Button! Well, what will happen when we press it? That's the thing. We don't know. Maybe something good. Maybe something bad. But I guess we'll never know, because it's your job not to touch it. And as we see over the next 29.5 seconds, it's like, will Cadet Stimpy hold out? Can he hold out from pushing the big red button, the jolly candy-like button? Will he hold out? Can he hold out? No, I can't! And then just their avatars and everything disappear.
Well, that's the thing. If you put a big red button in a room with the words "Do not press" and a group of people there, somebody's going to push that button.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's my whole creative eugenics program is bring back
better buttons to press.
Well, no, that's not necessarily true, and I'll tell you why. Because no one pressed the button in the Cold War. We could have nuked fucking Russia in a fucking second.
People knew what would happen if you pushed that button.
They were supposed to. No, here's the thing. They were supposed to launch at us twice. One during, what was it? The Cuban Missile Crisis. The standing orders were, if the U.S. depth charge, you were supposed to launch. That one Russian colonel was like, I don't want to be the dude to end the world. And then there was another time where there was a reported launch and they didn't do it. That's why I stand by most folks are good people. It's like, to end the world, I don't think that's the easiest thing.
No, it isn't.
But it is if it's an automated system.
Yeah, because it won't be hurt. It doesn't need air. It doesn't need protection from radiation. It doesn't need food.
But it needs power, and power needs people to keep the energy flowing. I've seen so many end of the world documentaries where there's a pandemic for one, and it wipes out a bunch of fucking people, and all of a sudden the power goes down, the water turns off, everything is fucked.
Dodge. How many of these end of the world scenarios have a self-aware AI in them?
Yeah, but how's the AI gonna manually keep
fucking power? But here's the thing. Okay, how did the hackers cause overloads in the nuclear reactors over there in Iran? Because they were using Siemens. They were using Siemens environmental controls, and those are made where? Oh, the U.S.
Everything in the Middle East is made in the West.
But I'm just saying. So those environmental controls were connected to a network. The instant they became connected to a network, they were vulnerable to attack.
Oh, see, I thought it may have been a proximity-based operation.
No.
how many power plants are online, have automated systems that an AI could hack into?
In the United States, not very many, actually. We have a very old infrastructure.
Some of them are all, I think they're mostly analog.
Mad, you'd only need one to begin with, because it would have control of a number of factories, for one thing. Not every factory, but enough. And it could build.
Here's the problem. All of your main switching on the grid, all of the primary interconnects, those are all automated. Those are all remotely controlled.
But aren't there mechanical mechanisms and other things?
But they have environmental controls that they can take those offline. If you can take them offline,
well,
you create a cascade failure.
Drain the tanks and stuff like that. I mean, that's like
but the amount of nuclear power plants, which is what you're talking about, in the United States, is actually not that high, and we haven't built a new one since what, 1970?
Yeah, but it's not the number of nuclear power plants. What about the coal-fired power plants? They still have automated controls.
Well, that was the premise for, what was it, Die Hard 5 or something, Die Hard 4?
And yeah, we are talking about a super intelligent, self-aware.
Actually, let's not even talk about this anymore, because that ideas entertain my fact around here, and that's terrible.
You know, and I mean, if you really want to go down to it, okay, how many of the field workers that turn switches on and off manually receive their orders via text on their phone? They get a work order through a phone app, and they just go out and fulfill that work order.
Do you have information that I don't have?
Yes, I'm Batman.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I'm Batman. God damn it. Well, no, see, and that's why I think you're in favor of this AI thing, Batman, because Batman is all about the tech.
Grounded. Not really, no. I prefer humans to be in control.
Well, no, and the thing is, though, I mean, really, okay, could you do a cascade effect at a nuclear power plant and take out a city? Yeah, you could.
Well, no, you're not looking at taking out the nuclear power plant. You're just looking at shutting off the electricity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about taking out the power plant as long as I can blow up a couple of the primary transformers. I can knock out power for a good year and a half. We don't have any spares, and those things take a long time to build. I think there are like three spare the giant transformers that you see like in the big switching grids. There are like 3 of those in the country. So if 4 went out, somebody's going to be without power for at least a year.
You're talking basically The Walking Dead without The Walking Dead.
Exactly.
Yeah, because damn it, Google Hangouts is
one of the positive things about an AI, if you got a benevolent one, you could probably say goodbye to inherent genetic flaws within humans.
No, but I don't want cloning or DNA engineering.
You probably end up with a benevolent AI. You'd probably end up with a event somewhere down the line, probably not that far down the line. Physically perfect.
Now you're talking about AI taking over the grid and everything, and let the AI handle it. Why not be like Star Trek and have a fucking weather control station too? Why not? Let's just go to full fucking 9 yards.
Wait, you don't like Star Trek?
I do. I love Star Trek, and that's why I just made a reference in another Redeye, because I have to do it at least once, and I didn't do it yet. So there's my Star Trek reference. Now, okay. Now you're talking about DNA manipulation. You're going to have a class of people that can afford it and a class of people that can't. And then you're going to create separate societies.
Mad Dodge. I was on about the benevolent AI with the DNA modifications, improvements. It would just be to the people who could afford it, because everybody could afford it under a benevolent AI.
It sounds like mankind wants to create its own god.
That's basically what would happen. The upper end, if it was a benevolent AI, humans would eventually at some point become AIs themselves.
And we're back to the Matrix.
Well, actually,
there's nipple neck.
Well, no, there is theories that we live in a simulated universe. Elon Musk believes that shit, I think.
Temmer in the chat there has just got the good one. All of these topics stop the natural progression of the human condition, though. they cause human stagnation. Isn't that a bad thing? Yes. Yes, it is.
Well, no, and I wish Kemma could join for this conversation. She'd probably enjoy herself. But she's busy, I think.
I think my preference with the AI is the third option, where it decides it's got no use for humans, it's got no use for the planet, so it just buggers off into space.
Wait, hold on. Wait, if the AI and everything, if they're training cats, wouldn't it just be like the cat? It'd be like, the cat came back the very next light year. We thought he was a goner, but...
That's a horrible idea. Yeah, you and your cat videos, the AI. So the AI thinks that the cat is its chosen people and it genetically engineers the cats secretly. And the next thing you know, we're being attacked by cats with fucking guns.
Wait, hold on, Batman. Are you sure? But if it was a benevolent AI, wouldn't we just all become furries?
Yeah, but you're feeding it cat videos, so it's benevolent to cats.
Yeah, but it also have people playing with said cats, so wouldn't it just use its current tools to turn us into anthropomorphic felines?
No, when you play with the cat always attacks you.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, so it's going to think humans are evil. You're creating a goddamn monster, dude.
You just started Planet of the Cats.
Hey, that's why we treat our feline overlords well now. Set a good example for a future.
We just need more violins.
Well, see that's the thing. If you set a good example and everything, we can work with our robot compatriots and our feline companions and everything.
Have you seen some of the robotic stuff they're coming out with now?
Dude, I live in Massachusetts. I've seen that Boston Dynamics shit. That's horrifying.
Yeah,
I know where this shit is. At least, like,
I gaze
a little bit down the path, dude. If MC was right here, he'd scare me even more.
Did you see the bipedal robot at Boston Dynamics? And it's walking around carrying stuff.
Oh, is that the one that do the backflip?
And the guy's walking around. No.
Another year to 3 meters in the air.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing. There is a video on YouTube of the guy kicking it over again and again and again. It's going to find that video and it's going to want some payback.
Yes, that's why you treat it nice and you give it a Fenway Frank.
No, what's going to happen is one day when the AI's getting there, you're going to go to Disney World, you're going to go to the Epcot Center, and you're going to be one of the people killed when the Abraham Lincoln robot goes on a killing spree.
No. Here's the thing. No, I did my time.
No.
I got stuck on that dang ride for a freaking almost half an hour in that freaking stupid hot golf ball. The ride kept being down for betas. Dude, I almost started live streaming from it, but I gave them a couple of chances, and then it's like, okay, the ride started, and then it stopped again, but it was only for 5 minutes this time, and then it got started. To be fair, we were at the top, and it was kind of pretty.
Oh, and another answer to Tema's question there is, in a way, we've already stopped the progression of the human condition because our advanced technological society is slowing down or even stopping evolution. At the moment, we don't need to evolve any further than where we're at. And evolution is all about natural selection and and environmental pressures. And for our species, there are no environmental pressures to change at the moment. And hello, Sharati.
Hi, Batman.
Wait a second. Hey, Sharati, and since you're here, Sharati, so what you're saying is we need to be more like the Saiyans and increase the gravity we're exposed to help us in our adaptation?
I don't know enough about the Saiyans to say anything like that. But
you said the pressure needed to be increased. I thought there was going to be greater pressure.
No, evolutionary pressure.
How about
Carl?
How about the sun's going to expand and eat us at some point?
I think we'd either have left the solar system by then or we'd be long dead.
Oh, we should get to it then.
Oh, we've got plenty of time.
No, that's stagnating us. Oh, but we got 2 billion years. It's like, are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No.
If you don't shut up, I'm going to turn this planet right around.
Oh, God. Dude, maybe we can do the whole Sephiroth thing and just kind of use the Earth to cruise around like the galaxy. Except not led by Sephiroth.
The thing is, with that silly idea that's doing the rounds at the moment, we may already be AIs if it's right. I don't think it is, but the whole idea that the universe is a simulation in some vast alien computer.
Oh, we're big MMO.
Yeah.
Well, we can kind of model it.
I don't think it's real true, but the idea is out there.
Well, that is what an AI would say.
Well, no, I think this idea that we just create a fucking intelligence that we can't control and just let it loose is goddamn insane to me. Like, I was just thinking about that while I was going to the restroom. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is Skynet fucking already. We already know. We know what's going to happen.
Well,
Right?
and here's a theory for you. All these Teslas that crashed and killed their owners, perhaps their owners were onto something, and the car figured it out and killed them.
Wait a second. Are you saying those cars are part Bumblebee?
No, those cars are ran by the
Bumblebee would never do that. It must have been a Decepticon.
No, these are all people who figured out whatever secret it is Elon Musk is hiding.
Exactly.
Oh, he's a gnome mage.
No, it's worse than that. He's a Martian.
Well, no, I just think it's ridiculous, even for a computer tech to actually. I mean, aren't they supposed to be smart? I mean, I know Cabby, he fucking runs code. He's pretty smart, and he wouldn't fucking release an AI into the world. He thinks this shit is insane as well.
Okay, but again, it's not that it's going to happen on purpose. The whole point is, we don't have killer bees coming up through North America because somebody wasn't being cautious. They were being cautious. It's just that accidents do happen.
Yeah. And then you do have people who would release it on purpose.
Yeah, this is true. You do.
I mean,
there are
the hugely irresponsible 13-year-old hacker actually does exist. And let's face it, somebody like that. Yeah. Oh, what happens if I let this loose?
Batman,
what does this button do?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What was that, Shirati?
Do you know who this is?
Who? That's your cat.
No.
Either that or it's a broken Geiger counter.
Oh, that's my cat.
No, I'm talking about
Carl. Carl, that's your husband.
No, that's Temma's husband.
Carl's a cat?
That's how I meant.
I am not a cat.
Pixar coming. But wait, no.
I'm not a cat.
Batman.
I'm not a furry.
It's okay. Nobody's perfect. But here's the thing, dude. Here's what I've realized about Elon Musk. No, he's not a gnomish mage, and perhaps not actually a Martian. Perhaps he's actually from the moon. Elon Musk is, in fact, the Great Gazoo.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, he's been around since Flintstone days, so.
Well, that was only the 50s.
Oh, God, it hurts to laugh.
Yeah, when did we get to the moon?
69.
See, he would have been 17.
We never went to the moon. That didn't happen.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, my God, no, we're not going there.
They're making a movie about it. Must be true.
No, I had to.
Oh, God.
Memes here in a second is going to say, I like the moon. Anyway.
What? Newt Gingrich was right? Hashtag moonbase?
I actually remember being woken up by my dad so I could watch that on the TV when they landed. I think I've seen.
Wait, hold on. So what you're saying, Batman, is you had to wake up to offer them tea when they landed?
No.
What?
For no reason. So you probably hear a little bit crying.
I thought Batman had a moon base.
See, you've scared them away now.
No, it keeps happening. Google is being a bitch today, really. But I don't know, Batman. I don't know if anybody will actually push that button on this, because it is a fucking dangerous idea. It really is.
Like I said, it mean a true artificial software AI may not actually be deliberately built. It could just happen online. There's evidence that it may have almost happened before without humans actually building the thing.
Isn't modifying an algorithm just kind of like the equivalent for us of modifying genetic code?
No, I'm not sure about that. No, I don't know enough to.
Sometimes it maybe takes off, maybe sometimes it doesn't. Doesn't that go back to kind of the whole theory of like natural selection or something?
I think you could draw an analogy to it, but
I'm not a coder or anything. I'm just kind of trying to see how it works, just based upon my limited knowledge.
Yeah, I've got limited knowledge as well. That's why a lot of.
Just imagine if we had unlimited knowledge.
Well, I don't want unlimited knowledge if that means giving up control of my own society to some
Wait, MD,
computer.
did you or did you not ever use Game Genie?
What's Game
Fuck
Genie?
you.
Hashtag boomer moment. Game Genie was what you used for your Nintendo, Super Nintendo, or Sega Genesis. Basically allowed you to more or less kind of hack the game. You could put in these different codes, give yourself infinite lives, this, that, or the other thing.
Cheat cartridges.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You plugged it in and then you plugged into the system. So basically it was a hardware bypass.
Yeah, I'm aware of them. I just never used them.
And I did. I had one.
Dude, doing those Sonic levels and collecting all the Chaos Emeralds took so long.
No, you're making me fucking show my age here. I even had the Nintendo fucking Game Glove that looked like the Freddy Krueger hand, pretty much.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, I had that.
I wanted the little Activision thing that you were in, so you could fight in like Mortal Kombat, but it worked not well.
I've got to address Joshua Janice in the chat here. No, Joshua, the moon is not a hologram. The moon is very real. It's the real thing that projects the hologram that is the Earth.
Yeah, where else do we get our cheese from?
wait. So we don't really exist? We're all in a computer database on the spaceship, aren't we?
Okay, I'm just going to say this.
It's worse.
I read Schrodinger's Cat, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, and I watched what was that? The Truman Show, all in the same week. And for the next 3 months, I was questioning reality quite often.
But here's the important thing: did you like cats?
No.
Oh.
Cats are accessories. They're great pets, but I'm not like particularly attached to them.
Well, they're familiars.
Okay.
I like cats.
I mean, I have a cat in my house.
Cats are all right. I like cats.
I have a cat in my house. She has one eye and she's retarded. She's very expensive.
She's part of the family.
Apart from the one eye retarded and expensive bit, that sounds like your wife. I said apart from the one eye expensive.
No, and Batman makes stupid jokes like that, Carl. Just making sure that's clear.
It's not. I told you. I've already solved the mystery. That's not Batman. That's Alfred That's Alfred Pennyworth in Batman's costume.
No, it's not.
The British accent.
Wrong kind of British accent.
No, we all know it's an avatar.
Alfred.
I am not a giant blue alien.
Alfred, I need some more fucking cognac. Hurry it up.
I was a lovely blue alien.
Get yourself.
Everybody knows that in America, every British accent and Kiwi and Australian accent are interchangeable here.
What? Batman's from Australia.
Batman's from Australia. God damn it. He's hunting.
No, Batman knows how to drive. He's definitely from, he would definitely have to be from the UK.
Well, you can go really fast.
Hold on. I know how to drive, therefore I have to be from the UK.
Well, yeah, you drive on the wrong side of the road.
Well, not Australia.
We drive on the right side of the road. You drive on the French side of the road.
No, we drive on the right side. You just drive on the wrong
French
side.
side of the road.
Well,
and French used to be the language of science, hence the smart side of the road.
Well, then we get into the whole metric system and sense making, and well, we like our American standard.
It's a French standard.
Man, we love our banter on the Redeye. God damn.
Every country that was either taken over or influenced by France was on the right hand side because of Napoleon.
Well, no, you guys brought up real quick though, Bat. You guys brought up Australia, so I'm gonna pivot here for a second. A whole freaking 30-meter area of the Australian coastline fell into the ocean. They say it's because of erosion. Do you think it's because of climate change? Is Al Gore finally right? Or is this just, a natural thing? Because it's on kind of a peninsula thing, if you look at it. My internet's already been messing up a little bit during the show, so I'm not going to try and pull it up. But it is in my Discord.
I honestly couldn't say because I don't have the information to hand there.
Okay, well, I can grab the link.
Hold on. I'd suspect if it's erosion, it probably would have happened anyway. I mean, land is, the land mass of the Earth is slowly being eroded by the sea.
That definitely does happen. That's the thing, dude. Even up here in like the Commonwealth and stuff, you see it. Like houses eventually have to like move and stuff because it does naturally erode. If there is more water in the ocean, likely there will be faster erosions because the sea levels will actually rise. The rate at how fast that happens is the main thing that we debate on.
Hold on, memes. You live in the Commonwealth.
Mm-hmm.
So are the Minutemen back up and running yet?
Yes.
What about the institute? What about the institute?
We have institution.
Batman. My internet's already been kind of shaky tonight. I thought I lost connection a couple times, but I haven't. So I don't want to open up another tab. There's the link in the side chat. Do you want to open it up and give me your thoughts on it? Because I don't think it's global warming. I think it is just erosion, and this shit happens. It happens every year.
No. But here's the thing.
California.
Well, yes. Here's the thing. Over in both of our states, we also have some very steep shorelines and stuff. Over there, it was a pretty flat, sand-based area, and it happened very quickly over like 3-year period.
So you do think it's climate change memes?
It could be a contributing factor. Well, here's the thing: the climate is changing. The climate always changes. It's just
whether or not it's man-made.
The rate at which we're seeing an increase and the effect it will have. That's the part that we argue. Other than that, I don't think anybody disagrees. It's like a lot of folks just disagree to disagree because they might not like somebody else's opinions.
I mean, I just disagree as to whether or not man has all that much of a contribution to it.
Well, it takes a lot to hit a Krakatoa event.
Yeah, man has a contribution to to global warming, but how big is in question?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it was a good section, like a 200-meter section that was kind of washed away fairly quickly. I mean, again, if you actually had geological surveys and stuff and saw like there was an underground cave structure or something that was naturally happening, that might accelerate it.
That's the thing. We don't. There doesn't seem to be any information on how long this erosion has been going on. Yeah, even if it's due to man-made global warming, erosion still takes a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
So I can't really say either on the side that it was just natural erosion.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, we have places like the Grand Canyon in the United States, and what was that made by? Erosion of a river. And have you seen glaciers. That fucking river?
No, you're wrong. The Grand Canyon was made because God had a piss in North America.
Well, it wasn't the biggest of pisses then, because the Snake River is not that fucking wide at all.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is there is natural erosion.
Millions of years, that though. Yeah. And the Grand Canyon, especially to geologists, is ridiculously obviously carved by a river. Even to somebody like you or me, you can see.
Yeah, exactly. And no, I mean, a shoreline will erode after a while, but you're right, memes, that it is pretty flat. That is kind of weird because, here on the Oregon coast, it's not flat, really. Have you seen fucking Google images of the Oregon coast?
Well, it's also on the edge of a continental plate, Pacific plate, and the North American plate.
You live in Oregon, so that means you got there by the Oregon Trail.
Well, I think I got
Cody is 7.
He spent thousands of hours on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah, I bet he died of disappearance.
I know, and yeah, cholera. Like,
Yep.
or you got bit. Your son got bit by a snake and died. You're like, what? Like, what the fuck? That fucking game. I love that game.
Hold on, wait. That game had AI, right?
No,
No,
it
was a random number generator.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it just had a dice roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So doesn't that kind of sound a little bit like life?
Nope.
There's a dice roll, except you have modifiers.
More modifiers than dice rolls.
No, this
There are
is
a lot of
getting
modifiers.
weird in single hangouts.
Hold
It
on.
keeps dropping people.
Hold on. Hello, Tiger Lily. She's saying hello to us.
Hi, Tiger Lily.
Oh no, I already said hi to her. Yeah, I made
And
sure.
MD, here's the thing. Perhaps we're solving Project Blue Book. Perhaps that's why we see these.
I actually read Project
internet
Blue
images.
Book back in the 70s.
You should have been on a previous stream.
Yeah, my dad.
I know. How did you read that fucker?
Because I was a kid and I was really into UFOs, and after reading it, I wasn't into UFOs anymore.
No, it's fucking. Oh, it's so dry and boring. It's like my fucking English text I have to read.
The stuff that was in it pretty much convinced me that UFOs, for the most part, what the authorities say they are, and the ones that are unexplained are probably naturally occurring phenomena or, misidentified aircraft.
Yeah, nobody would ever bullshit.
Well,
yeah, I think they're full of shit.
I don't. I honestly don't think that's.
I withdraw my statement and state nobody would ever embellish to make a story a better story.
You know what I mean, though. I honestly don't think that any civilization is going to go through the expense of sending a spacecraft all the way over to our planet just to fly around and scare a few people and bugger off, or race fucking military jets.
Well, wouldn't that be the ultimate troll?
No. The ultimate troll would be surrounding our solar system with a big black cloth so we couldn't see the stars.
Oh, well, isn't that coming at some point?
I don't think we'll be around to see it.
Maybe they'll have big cats in the sky.
Actually, fugitives running, and then they end up crashing here. So that's not a bad theory when it comes to that. But no,
actually, yeah, there are flying saucers in alien spacecraft, and I know exactly what they're here for. Exactly what they're here for. Well, you see, ever since we discovered radio, we've been sending signals out into the cosmos, right?
Yes.
More and more powerful signals as the years go by, and more complex signals, which reach further. And these UFOs and that are all basically the interstellar version of our neighbors coming to tell us to turn the damn noise down.
Oh, perhaps. Yeah, that's a theory. But no, we've gone about 3 hours, maybe a little bit more. Everybody that's in my Discord, jump in there. My internet keeps messing up. Like I only heard half of what you said, Batman, which means I'm probably gonna end up disconnected. So before I robot and go all crazy, I'm gonna end it right here. We've had a great. Okay, go ahead.
Danger, Will Robinson.
And before you do that, Tiger Lily says that aliens want gold and precious metals. It'd be easy for them to get them by mining asteroids.
Tiger Lily, jump in voice chat, and I think Batman's. You're in my Discord, right? Jump in voice chat. We'll all hang out and talk. I just don't want to drop the connection and end it abruptly like yesterday.
Yeah.
So this has been the Redeye stream number 172. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe. You know the whole bit. I got a Patreon. I got a fucking Streamlabs. It's all in the description. Good night. Good luck.
Yeah, and to all of you from
go to France.
And to all of you from Bizarro World, please dislike and unsubscribe.
I like China.
Yeah, fuck you, Batman. I hope the Joker gets you. We're out of here. Peace.